issues with our streaming software, but it looks like we're good to go in general.
Welcome to.
Hey everyone, welcome in to day one of our AI-fied social selling system. Let me go ahead and pin you, Molly, just real quick, and I'll go ahead and pin myself as well so we could see everybody. So before we get started, oh, oops, let me unpin and repin. There. Sorry, one second. Oh, looks like I lost you. Let me add you back. Perfect. Okay. It's always a little, just weird, just setting up all the streaming every single time. It's just so different. But welcome in, everyone. So first things first, we have intentionally turned off the Zoom chat. So you won't be able to chat in the Zoom intentionally. But what we want you to do is find a streaming link, and we want to see all of your comments there. Tell us what city you're checking in from. We are in the early stages of getting ready with our workshop. I'm getting like pop-ups right when I'm talking, so apologize for my lack of flow here. So Molly, let me go ahead and press record here so we have this already started so I don't forget that. Molly, thanks for saying yes to us. I'm so excited for this. We have so much in place and so much planned. Before we get started, Molly, what's your story? Who is Molly Mahoney? How did we all get connected? This is insane.
Dude, I am so stoked to be here, and I cannot believe the chat is turned off. How am I going to know what you're thinking, y'all? So you better find these streaming things, and I'm going to be multitasking so I can see what's happening in your heads and your hearts. And it's so good to see so many people that I know. I'm so stoked to be here with you. Yeah. So Paulson, we met at Digital Marketer, which was so fun.
Right.
So I
Shout
was
out
doing a
digital marketer.
presentation there, and
Yeah.
yeah. And it's been this like, high level love affair ever since. I'm drinking my high level Kool-Aid in here. I'm just very, very, very grateful. The level up event was so amazing. So if you were there, let me know in the chat. Say I was there. I had so much fun speaking about AI at the level up event. And we have been like all high level this. I was going to say this year. It's only early in the year, but for the past 12 months or so, I've been diving deep, and I am so stoked to bring you what we have today.
Awesome. Molly, I'm excited. As people are joining us, here's what I want you all to do, if you don't mind. And this is a kind request from our marketing team. So if you are watching this at some point, we want you to record the Zoom room and invite people into the Zoom room and the event. Post a story on Instagram, Facebook, wherever you have a social following of some kind, and also tag High Level as well as Molly Mahoney, and we want to reshare and let everybody know we are about to do, as Molly calls it, one of the best social selling workshops on the planet. And matter of fact, here's how I know this is going to be really good. Molly spent hours going through some of our previous workshops and designing something that's amazing. I've seen some of the content. It's about to be insane. Molly, without any further ado, let's set the agenda for the day. What are
Okay,
we
yeah.
going to
So,
cover today? And let's get right into it.
okay, so we've got loads to cover. Today, we're going to be focused on AI-ifying your brand. So, really, what we're doing for this whole entire workshop is I'm going to be walking you through the entire system that we use with pop-up Facebook groups in order to generate. For me, it's about an average on like an easy, regular pop-up group that we do is about $140,000. So that's just like a normal little fun time, right? So if you'd like to be able to bring in anywhere from $5,000 to $500,000 using a pop-up Facebook group, you are such in luck. You are in such luck today. So we're going to be covering how to AI-ify your brand today. Tomorrow, we're going to be going into how to AI-ify your content and make sure that your social platforms are set up properly. And then on the final day, we're going to be going into how to AI-ify your sales. And so we're giving you, I'm telling you, Paulson is right. I went through so many other workshops and I was like, we're going to make this the best one. Y'all are going to freak out. We're giving you our entire system. So be really stoked because you're getting all the automations, all of the magic. It's going to be so good.
I love it. So, Molly, before we get started, I'm going to give it a few more minutes for people to be able to jump in. And I'm seeing some of the streaming in the comments here in our main Facebook page. I just threw the link into the Zoom chat. So if you want to follow on your phone or whatever, you can. So we got some people in the house from UK, Idaho, Tennessee. Let's see, Amy from Mississippi. We have someone from Denver, Twin Cities. Let's see, South Africa. There's a wide range of a crowd here. So keep telling us what city you're checking in from. It's a great way to network with fellow high levelers. And by the way, you want to stay through the entire day. We have a special offer for you that's going to be even more exciting. That's going to include a ton of snapshots and giveaways and all kinds of stuff. So make sure you pay attention, have your notes ready. We are recording this as usual, just like all the other workshops, and you will have replays posted in our high level YouTube channel and more than likely Molly's social channels as well. She's going to post some of the replays after the event later this week or next week. But either way, let's get started. I want to make sure everybody's excited. Are y'all excited? Like, give us a one in the chat if you're excited to learn a lot of practical applications and lessons on building this thing. Like, this is not going to be what I call a strategery thing. We're going to get into the platform and build cool things out together, which I'm so excited about. Give me a one in the chat if you're excited. Okay.
Hey, and I would also love to know if this is your first time on a training with me, if you can just say new in the chat. And then if you have been on trainings with me in the past, let everyone know what they're in for, because this is going to be unlike anything you've ever experienced. I'm bringing my magic purple sparkly cast into the training
Yes.
today. So know that we are we firmly believe the more fun we have, the more money we make. So there's a lot of wild magic that's going to happen today.
I love it. So Molly, how did you get started in the world of digital online, that whole entrepreneurship world? I know you're also a keynote speaker, like almost at every other event I go to. But like, how did you get started in this world of marketing?
Yeah, so I was actually a musical theater performer professionally, which I know is kind of an odd start. And while I was on the national tour of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, very normal, I decided, I had had loads of success as a musical theater performer, and my husband and I got engaged. And so we decided to move from New York back to California. And I started teaching dance and helping other performers to be able to have a career like I did. And so I started following Pat Flynn, actually, and I copied everything that he said to do. And currently, if you search tap dance terminology, I'm still the number one SEO result.
Shout out tap dance industry. What a beautiful thing. You know what's funny? I always find people in marketing that do really well come from all kinds of creative spaces. And it's amazing to see how well versed they become in marketing because they have a different way of looking at it. So first of all, how did you get into the sales side of things and AI? Like, help us kind of put together
Yeah,
that story. Yeah.
so it was like a kind of a crazy thing. So I was teaching singing lessons. I launched my company, The Prepared Performer, way back in 2013. And I was giving audition tips and all of this. And then I realized, as a singer, as a performer, it was pretty awesome because I could run my own business and I could also still perform. So I decided to launch this course called Prepared Performer Profits. It was the cure for the starving artist syndrome. That was the tagline. This is actually really important for what we're doing today. So the tagline was the cure for the starving artist syndrome. And I did this huge launch and I made zero sales. And it was like the most soul sucking moment of my life. I had 15 people in the pilot, but then when we went full price, which I think was like $497, zero sales. And what I realized in this very soul searching moment was if you call someone a starving artist, they are probably not going to pay you. And so this was a huge moment for me in shifting my messaging. And I got really clear. I was like, okay, I can either stop the online thing or I can tweak something in order to get this to work. So know that if you have a big disaster like this, don't give up, dive in, figure out what's working, what's not. And what I decided to do was I paid attention to what I call a why now belief. And I looked at the trends that were happening and where the biggest opportunity was. And this was 2016. So at this point, Facebook Live had just come out. And I decided rather than teaching performers how to have a business, I would start teaching business owners how to perform. And I launched a program called Camera Confidence, and we did $50,000 within 3 months.
Wow.
It
What
was
a
awesome.
start. What a
Yeah, it was pretty
launch.
cool.
What a start. That's amazing. So those of you that are watching, and if you're in the Zoom room, you may notice that we have intentionally turned off Zoom comments. So if you're in the Zoom room, great. I think we have up to 500 people that could join the Zoom. I don't know if the team extended it or not. Sometimes you can go up to 1,000, but either way, you're going to see people trickling in. But in the comments, there is a streaming link for our main Facebook page streaming. So please comment in there, ask your questions in there, interact with us. We're all watching the Facebook page streaming. That's one I'm watching. We're also live on YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, all four of our Facebook groups. If you didn't know, we have four different Facebook groups for high level. I think Instagram as well. So yeah, take a look at the comments, the streaming, interact with us. So Molly, let's set the agenda for the day. What will they learn today? What is the idea of the AI-ified social selling system?
Yeah. And so, one last little thing I want to share before we jump all the way into that is how the heck I got into AI, which I'll share a
Oh
little bit
yeah.
more as we go on, because you may be like, video camera confidence. What the heck are we doing here with this AI thing? So, when Jasper, which was called Jarvis and also called Conversion.ai, when that AI tool first came out, I jumped in and I was obsessed with it. And I ended up launching a program called Dancing with Jarvis. And so my point for our community was to teach them how to use AI, but to recognize that when you're using AI, you can't just like go down a streamlined path. You kind of have to be ready to dance. You've got to see what the AI is giving you and then act like an actual human and give something back that is worthwhile to help get the best results. And so we've been teaching AI since way back in 2021. And at that point, when they changed the name because of the cease and desist from Thor, they like to say, but from Disney about the name Jarvis, when they changed it to Jasper, I was like, oh, this is a really bad idea to name your course after someone else's tool. And so that's when we changed our program to the AI Content Club. And we also recognize, which we'll talk a little bit about more today, that videos are cool, but they're not the most important piece. What's really important is what you do around your video. And so that's where we started really focusing on sales and AI. And that's how I ended up here today, teaching you all of this. So
I love it. And by the way, I've met Molly in person and heard her speak on this subject multiple times at events. And I was like, Molly, we got to do some kind of a thing for the high level community. We got to figure this out. We got to do a workshop or a podcast or something. And this took several weeks and several months to really plan out. So there's a lot of content in place. It took us almost a month to prepare for this. And those of you that are watching, even if you don't have a high level account, stay tuned. We've got something special for you towards the end of the day. So let's get started with today's agenda. And I am recording. We are good to go.
amazing. Are you cool if I jump into my slides and everything?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think I made
Dope.
you a co-host. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Okay.
we got it. All right.
All
Okay.
right.
So I'm about to bring my slides up on the stage here, the screen here. And again, I do have my arm in a cast. I sprained my tendon. So if you notice, it takes me a little second to get things going perfectly. That's why. Before I bring those up, I always love to start with a little, a little treat for you before we dive in, which is this. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. So, what's
I
that
love
dream?
that.
I told you it was going to be different than usual.
If I knew you were gonna do that, I would have had everybody pull out their camera and we could have posted a song on Instagram and Facebook.
Maybe we'll bring some other songs back. Maybe we'll bring some other songs back.
I love it.
So the goal of that song is for you to really recognize that this is not only about the automations, the AI, the magic, the sales, the moolah, the fun that we're having. It's really about that dream. And I want you to just take a moment, take your hand and put it on your heart, take a big old belly breath and say, dream. We're going to go really fast today. I am like the fastest talker on the planet. And so this is your moment right now for us to really tap into what would you love to see as a result of today? So I'm going to give you an assignment, which is I want you to pick one thing from today that you will implement by the end of today. This is going to be a lot of information, but if you don't do anything with it, it's not going to do you any good. So one thing that you promise you will implement by the end of today, we're going to be going here for 3 hours, which I am stoked about. I love doing long trainings. And I want to make sure that by the end of today, you have one thing that you are definitely going to implement. And I would love that one thing to turn into a certain amount of money. So for me, I would love that thing to turn into $500,000 for you. For you, it may be $5,000. It may be $50,000, but we're going to give a 1 and a 5. So type a 1 and a 5 in the chat if you're going to pick that one thing that's going to turn into some sort of denomination with a 5 and a bunch of zeros behind it.
I
All
love
right.
it. And those of you that are watching, this does not mean you're going to make a bunch of money off of this. It just all results may vary, right? But at the end of the day, we
When
want to set a stage and a standard of what we're shooting for.
1,000,000%. So know that none of this is guaranteed. As you know, what I shared earlier, my first launch made $0. So the point of what we're doing today, the point of this is that you will have a system to get you started. I know that sometimes what happens, like what Paulson was saying, is that we get this like strategy land and we don't actually have the behind the scenes. This is one piece of the puzzle. It's not the entire puzzle, but let me tell you, it's a lot of it. And I would love you to really just like call your shot. What would you love? What would you love to have happen? And maybe for you, it's actually not about sales. Maybe for you, it's about making the impact. Maybe for you, it's about the amount of humans that you'll be able to have an impact on. Maybe for you, it's about the amount of time that you'll be able to free up in your life. So claim that for yourself right now as we jump in. Okay, now, as I kind of mentioned, there are so many things that we're going to cover today. There is a lot that we are going to cover. And what I have noticed when it comes to trainings like this, oftentimes people do this. They try and open up everything in the kitchen sink. They're like, I want to do all the things at one time. Well, what I'm going to give you today is more of a sifter. So this is really going to streamline everything for you so you can focus on that one piece of the puzzle and add in the next piece like a beautiful parfait, or if you love Shrek, like an onion. Okay, so we're going to build out we're going to build out this parfait together today so that you can hit the results that you have on your vision board as a part of that dream. So here is the plan today. I'm calling this the AI pop. So if you give me AI pop in the chat, I will know that you're on the same page. And today we're going to be AI-ifying your brand. We're going to be going through a full social selling system overview. So I'm going to walk you through everything. And Paulson, if it's okay, I'd love to actually pull up high level to show kind of what we're going to be doing on the third day. Is
Oh
that
yeah.
cool?
Of
Okay.
course, of course. You have all the freedom to share whatever you want as long as it takes us to the right results, right? So yeah,
Okay.
feel free. Feel
Okay.
free.
I feel like we're in Titanic where I'm like, do you trust me? Okay, good. I'm glad.
Of course.
Except this ship is not sinking. This ship is sailing. Okay, so we're going to be covering awareness playgrounds where we actually find leads. We'll be covering pipelines and automations, and that's how we actually convert the leads. I'm going to show you that whole entire system. Then we're going to dive in and uncover your unique differentiator. This is extremely important as we put this into place so that you actually stand out from the current zombie AI apocalypse. If anyone knows what I'm talking about, give me an amen in the chat. And finally, today, we're going to go through and actually season your AI assistant. So we will be using ChatGPT today. If you use Claude or you use Magi or you're using Jasper Chat, any of those chat features will work. We will actually be diving into AI and you will have a full AI-ified brand by the end of the day. Does that sound exciting? I think it does.
It's so exciting. You know what's crazy for me is like I already know what you're gonna show and teach, and I know it's gonna be like total like it's gonna just floor everybody, but they just don't know that yet. So I'm excited for more interactions to come through. I'm not seeing enough people chatting, so I'm not happy right now. But we need you to engage with us, everyone, because it
Oh, you
takes
know
a lot
what? Actually,
more.
hey Paulson, can I do a little giveaway? I love to give away this book that I
Oh,
have. I do this
yes,
during my live
yes,
streams.
yes.
Okay,
Okay,
let me.
cool.
I'm gonna hide this off the screen just because Paulson said that really quick. So here's what we're gonna do. I have a book that actually helps you to identify your unique differentiator. I wrote it. I'll show it to you later. It's amazing. And here's what I'd like to do. Wherever you're watching on the streams, I want you to drop the hashtag nugget and share what the nugget is. This is actually a nugget as well. So if you're doing a live stream and you want to encourage engagement, you want to encourage the magic, drop the hashtag nugget in the chat and share what it is that you're going to implement, the aha that you're taking away. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through all of the different chats. Okay. I'm going to go through all of them across all the social platforms. I'll pick a nugget and tomorrow I'll announce the winner. Does that sound
All
good?
right. All right.
I like it.
Love it.
Okay.
Love it.
Keep
Thank you.
the nuggets coming. Okay. I'm going to
That's
screen
right.
share again with my left hand. All right. So we're going to cover, oh my gosh. Thank you. All right. How to write copy in your voice. Those of you that are in our content club, I actually streamlined this a little bit for today so we can do it super quick. You're going to love this. And then after we do that, we're going to create a full AI-ified brand that connects with your community and positions your offer so those connections are more likely to turn into clients. That's all that we're doing today. Tomorrow, we're going to do all of this. AI-ify your social. We're going to cover the secret to unlocking your organic reach without selling your soul to Mark Zuckerberg, the key AI framework that allows you to create content with ease, conversion-based content, and then we'll be covering the evergreen engine that you can set and forget so that you can focus on your clients and your life, and one prompt that will write your entire content for the year. Oh my gosh, really amazing. On the third day, we will be AI-ifying your sales. And so that is where we are going to set up your pop-up groups for success. So we're going to dive into Facebook, show you how to set up those pop-up groups. We're going to create major pre-masterclass momentum, increasing your show up rates. So this is where I'm going to give you all of the emails, all of the text messages that we send in order to move people forward, the follow-up automations that allow you to bring in more sales with less effort, and it's going to be good. Okay. Then I'm going to give you all these bonuses. Can I announce these bonuses now, Paulson? Is that okay?
Well, let's see. Let's see how many hashtag nuggets we've had. Okay, we've got a lot. We've got a lot. So thank you for
Okay.
doing that. Yes, announce the bonuses.
Okay, perfect. So when you stay with us to the end, you will get the full AI brand voice guide. You will get the AI super prompt quick start. So this is the quick version of our AI super prompt that we share in the content club. You'll be able to write a month of content in literally 15 minutes. You'll get our pop-up setup guide. This is bananas. I have sold this guide alone for $2,000. It's wild. Like literally someone said, I'll pay you $2,000 just for that checklist. So it's good. And then you'll get the checklist. So you're going to get the setup guide plus the checklist and our full system snapshot, which will include all of the following things. Now, if you are not using high level, this is why you're going to want to get a high level trial, because sign up for a high level account, heck, pay for a high level account, because you're not going to want to leave. This is everything that you'll get inside that snapshot. So if you don't know what a snapshot is, it literally gives you your entire system in a box. This is all that's included.
Yeah, Snapshot is basically an automation template, and it's something you can build inside of high level. So you're going to need a high level account. As you go through this workshop, we're going to spend almost 2 to 3 hours each specific day for 3 days in a row, and we're going to build all the stuff inside of high level, and all that's going to be saved on snapshots. And Molly's going to be giving away a few items like that. So landing pages, calendars, all that good stuff. So yeah, definitely get a trial as soon as you can. If you don't have a trial link, we are providing a trial as part of this 3-day workshop. I can have Jordan or someone in the team put that into the chat. But either way, find it, sign up, so that way you're engaged and you can build out something as you go through this workshop. Keep going.
Amazing. I love it. And if you have a high level account or you're in our Star Funnels account, just know that all of this will work with your current high level account. You may find that you want to do even more with high level, so you may want to upgrade, but know that all of this will work with your high level account. So you're going to get the landing pages that we use, including the thank you pages, the call booking pages. You're going to get the calendars, including all of the automations that go with that, the emails, the text messages, the pipeline. So this is how we track our sales, the people that are coming into our world and how we move them from awareness all the way into making a purchase. I also, oh my gosh, I'm going to give you the social posts that you need inside the group. And I actually
Love it.
just figured this out, and I'm so stoked that I figured out how to give you this. So this goes right into your high level account, and then it's scheduled on your group, in your group. It's like literally amazing.
I'm excited. This is
Awesome.
exciting.
It's so good. And then finally, I'm going to give you our social CRM course and our top 100 organic posts. So these are separate courses that we have, and it's actually more than 100. The page says 100. I haven't updated it yet, but I put 200 in there. So you're going to get my top 200 top converting organic posts.
Love
It's
it.
so good. Are you ready?
I'm
It's
so ready.
amazing. I'm so ready. Okay. And then this is the link for the trial. I know we can put that in the chat, but if you don't have this yet, you can go to gohighlevel.com/Molly workshop offer. And that's where you'll be able to get the high level account so we can import all of this stuff for you. Oh, it's so good. Okay. Now, before we go any further, I have to tell you about this time that I got a warning. So I was running a 5-day challenge on the Book of Faces, and I was using Be Live at the time, and I went to log in, and there was this huge sign across the screen, and it said, Facebook is down. You cannot go live today. And I was like, oh, shiitake mushrooms, because I had everything planned. We had about 700 people registered for this 5-day challenge. I was like, what am I going to do? Well, I live up to my name because I am a prepared performer, and I'm going to give you a nugget that saved everything and made everything even better than it could have been if we had done things as planned. What I did was I busted out what I call a party bus. And so a party bus is this. We use forwarding links for everything. So imagine that you've sent an invite to someone and you're like, hey, we're going to go to this party out in the middle of the woods. Now, let's say you get in trouble because you're not supposed to be having a party in the middle of the woods. Everybody's going to get in trouble. Instead, you invite everyone to a party bus, and then you can take them from bar to bar to bar. You can take them. I have a very G-rated brand, so I don't know why I use that as an example, but you can take them from party to party to party, and everybody's together, and you are in charge of where this party's going.
I love it.
Make sense?
So are you saying in case if internet goes out, we're gonna go into a different Zoom or another room and another room and another room?
Exactly. So when you are doing this, when you are creating these pop-up masterclasses, these pop-up Facebook groups, know that we cannot trust these platforms. These platforms may go down. So anytime you are creating something like this, you want to use some sort of forwarding link so that you can automatically redirect everyone. Now, I did this before I was using High Level. And now that I'm using High Level, I'm so stoked because High Level actually has this built in where you can automatically send people to different places by updating the forwarding links inside High Level. It is really cool.
Yep.
So what we ended up doing was I was like, oh my gosh, panic, everything's broken. And then I said, you know what? It's fine. We used our party bus. I'm going to send everyone from Facebook over to YouTube. So we sent out an email. We said, Facebook's down. Don't worry. Your same link will work. Go to the link. You're going to meet us on YouTube. And I hadn't used my YouTube account very much at the time. Like I had in the past when I was teaching singing lessons, but at this point, I'd kind of neglected my YouTube. Well, look what happened to our YouTube account. We gained 202 subscribers, and this huge like hockey stick happened on our YouTube account. It was awesome. So my point with this is you can decide to do this system that I'm teaching you today wherever you want. Doing it inside a Facebook group is the best way to do it. But no, if you're like, hey, I really do things on YouTube, this will work on YouTube too. While we were doing this 5-day challenge on YouTube, something else crazy happened. On Facebook, I had a 13-second video that hit a reach. At this point, it had hit a reach, you can see right here, of 28 million. Do you see this?
And that's without paid ads?
That's without paid ads. That's completely
Wow.
organically.
Wow.
Wild. I don't know if my adrenaline has ever had such a crazy rush as it did this week. I was like, what is actually happening? So that was bananas. So then what did I do? I took everyone from YouTube and I sent them back over to Facebook. I was like, yo, check out what happened over on Facebook. So I took the party bus back to Facebook. Then we had, like a bus, we turned them all around and we realized, you know what? Guess what? It's time to go over to Instagram. So around the same time, we had a couple of videos that took off on Instagram. Now, my Instagram account, I use more as a lead funnel, which we can talk about in another workshop. But these numbers were pretty big for me on Instagram. So then I sent another email and I was like, oh my gosh, guess what? It's time to take the party bus over to Instagram. So now I am in control of this party bus. We're all partying and going to all these different platforms. And this was all within the same month, which was really wild. Okay. So then I'm like, yo, this is stoked. I'm wearing almost the same shirt. This is
I
stoked.
was gonna say.
That's called branding, y'all. So I am stoked. I shared this GIF. Okay. Now I have to tell you, this GIF, I actually updated the numbers because it's hit way more. But when this GIF first took off, it hit 500,000 views on Giphy. I checked this week.
Uh-oh.
It's at 4.2 million views. What is happening? Okay. Now, I'm showing you how we're really using this omnipresent system in order to drive more traffic to our party bus where we can send them where they want to go. I can show you the Giphy thing. We can actually, you know what? We can add in a bonus about how to create GIFs like this. It's the easiest free thing ever. So if you stay to the end, I'll add that bonus in too. It's pretty awesome. Okay. Then this one hit 17 million. I was like, okay, this is crazy. And all we're doing is just taking these little moving images and sharing them strategically on Giphy. This is brand awareness. It leads people back to our website. Okay. The problem is not about creating content. You can create lots of content. That Giphy strategy, you can get loads of visibility for free. The problem is not about creating content. The problem is about the sales system around that content. So this video that hit the reach of 39 million eventually, I don't have a screenshot of that, but it went from 35 to 39 million. Facebook ended up paying us $30,000 for this video, which doesn't happen anymore because they've canceled the monetization system that they had. But at the time, I was like, this is crazy. This is wild, right? What I ended up doing with this one video, and again, just like Paulson said, this is not an income, like, this is not guaranteed for everyone, but this is what happened for me. I taught people how to create content like this. I put a sales system around this video, and I ended up bringing in $130,000 because of our social selling system. So what I'm showing you today is not only based on visibility, it's about how you take that visibility and you turn it into actual results on the back end. We're going to use for this system a pop-up Facebook group because in my mind, this really is the best, most, it's so perfect sifter to take all of that visibility from out here and streamline it and bring it into a place where you can actually talk to human beings, follow up with human beings. It's good. Okay, before we go any further, what I'm going to show you is this. This is our pipeline system. We're going to fill this out as we go. We move from awareness, the pink is the awareness, into consideration. This is where people are thinking about working with us, into sales. And then once they purchase from us, we move them into different products. So for us, we have an entry-level product, a mid-level, and a high-level product, not to be confused with high-level.
One second, Molly. I think your video froze up for a second. Let me just double check. My side. Jordan, do you is it me or do you see Molly? Yes.
Yeah, all good here.
Okay, cool. Maybe it's just my internet. Keep going, Molly.
Okay,
Ignore
that's good.
ignore the notification.
All good. Okay,
Okay.
so I have a little secret that I'm going to share with you. And the secret is this. You have to believe me. You have to trust me on this before I get into all the secrets. But the real thing, I know I told you this already earlier, videos are not the thing. What you do, well, videos are the key, to unlocking the conversations. Videos will help you to unlock the conversations. And then what you do around your video is more important than what you do in your video. So today, we're not really going to cover what you do in the actual video. We're going to cover the setup with the AI-ifying your brand. And then I'm going to give you the system to what to do around your video so that those videos can convert. And I know that may be like, what? And you may also feel like, you know what, I'm creating really awesome videos and I'm not getting the results that I want to get. This is going to be a complete paradigm shift for you. It is going to change everything. And the first most important key for this is what I call the social triangle. So the social triangle is this. Whether you are building a community on Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, LinkedIn, any of these places, there is
Or
one thing. What?
I was gonna say, or high level, because we just launched our own community.
Ooh, good one. That's so true. I love it. I love it. I love it. Or a community in high level. There is one thing that they want. And I'm going to tell you what this one thing is when I get to the third step of this triangle. So there is one thing that these platforms want from us. Before we get to that, I'm going to tell you the most important piece is that you actually show up. So even if it's a high level community, you have to actually show up. If it's just your people talking and you don't ever guide them, nothing's going to actually happen. So you have to actually show up on the platform. Now that can be automated, and we really encourage you to actually show up as a human being, or at least have someone from your team show up as a human being. The second piece is your clients have to actually be there. So you need to know where your clients are spending time. And when it comes to bringing in more people to your community, you need to know what other communities are they spending time in. So are they in Facebook groups? Are they hanging out following specific hashtags? Are they following specific tools? Like, where are they actually spending time? And then you need to go there and actually spend a little bit of time there. So the people who are in our Sales Stars program, which I know we have lots of Sales Stars here today, give me a Sales Stars shout out in the chat. We spend anywhere from literally 5 minutes to an hour a day unlocking what we call the social triangle. We added in 3 co-working calls a week where I show up and I do this for an hour every week. Now, your schedule may be a little different. What I've realized though is if I can spend an hour focused on the social triangle 3 times a week, I'm going to see massive results on the other side. What happens is when you actually go and engage with your people, or you engage in the platforms where your people are spending time, what happens is that the algorithm starts to know, oh, Molly's spending time in the in the high level group, we should show her content to more people who are just like the people in the high level group. This doesn't mean that you go into Facebook groups and you poach people, because that's rude and we don't agree with that. But you want to give love in these communities, which is going to tell the algorithm who to put your content in front of. The other thing is, this tells the humanism. You get that? It's like humanism, but it's with a
Gotcha.
list. So human beings see
Yeah.
that you spend time there. And I'm just going to give Javi a shout out. So I saw Javi was here commenting, and I am obsessed with Javi and Sean from Formwise, and they show up and they give so much value, which is awesome. And then it makes me want to give value back to them. Be a human being that shows up. Okay. Okay.
This is hard to do. This is hard to do. I mean, I got a 5-day challenge group. There is a official group. We have a job network group. It's really hard to show up when, it's like, I'm literally streaming at this point 26 out of 30 days with all the different events. So, of course, you have to commit to what you're launching. I think that's the big point that you're making, is like you got to commit and show up
Well, and
and
it can
be
be
faithful.
5 minutes twice a week. Like, it doesn't need to be, as much as you or I necessarily spend doing this. It can vary, but at least show up for, if you can't give your business 5 minutes a couple times a week, what are you doing? Like, for reals. And I'm going to give you a streamlined system. Don't worry, I got you.
Love it.
So it can be easy. We actually love to do this thing where we we push the easy button. So we just take our hand like this and we go like this. So take your hand all the way up. We push the easy button. Now it's good. Okay, so we can make this easy with the right system, which I'm giving you. Okay, now we're to the platform piece. The third piece of this is we have to give the platform what it wants. So all of these platforms, there is one thing that they want. Do you know what it is? Paulson, do you know what these platforms want?
Usage.
Usage, that's close.
They want to make sure that their users are engaged for the right reasons, right?
So, and I don't even know if they care about for the right reasons. A high level probably cares about the right reasons, but these platforms, they all want to be TikTok. So TikTok has figured it out. They figured out how to get people to stay on the platform, how to stay engaged and not leave the platform. We have to give these platforms that same gift, right? So the more that we keep people on the platform longer, the better. This live stream is a perfect example. So instead of having the chat in Zoom right now, we have the chat on the live stream platforms, on these different social media platforms. What is this going to do for the high level accounts?
Rise up the algorithm.
The algorithm, the organic reach is going to increase, because we are now, this is like Nugget. The whole point of that Nugget giveaway is so that we can increase that organic reach. Right? Yeah. It's also so I know what's resonating with you, and so that you live transcribe this because I talk so fast.
Yeah. Well, also another thing from a monetization standpoint, whenever the way we have set up this streaming, right? I can't believe we're actually teaching off of this setup. Everybody engaging in all those pages and platforms and groups and handles. Like when we run paid ads on Instagram or TikTok or Facebook after something like this, and there's a lot of organic reach, your cost of ads is way down versus,
because you can build your retargeting audiences.
Correct. Well, that too. That too, but just regular paid ads right off of something like this, we will pay literally 40-50% less than what we would without any organic content.
Okay, I'm so grateful that you said that, because the truth of the matter is that these days ads and organic work together. Like
Yeah, they do.
getting your organic system in place makes your ads work better.
They do.
I love it. Amazing. I know all the secrets. You guys were getting all the secrets from Paulson. Okay, and if this seems basic to you, I just want to let you know this is what I call a common practice that is not commonly practiced. I heard Amber Spears say that at an event once, and I thought it was so true. So this is a book that was written by Jay Abraham and Rich Schefren, like the godfathers of internet marketing. Rich Schefren is a very dear friend, and he and Jay put this in their book. So this book, Getting Everything You Can Out of All That's Hot Online, you can see like fancy people like, dudes in here, Russell Alaric, all these dudes. And then Sparkle Pants Mahoney is the only female in this book, first of all, by the way. But Sparkle Pants Mahoney, and using the social triangle to generate 300K per month. I mean, that's pretty dope. So if they believe this can work and they believe it's important, promise me that you will not skip this as we move forward. It is good. Okay, it will literally make your content go pew. So that is our goal today. Now, again, like Paulson said, I am not promising that any of these results will happen. This is not get rich quick. You must have knowledge and true expertise to share in order for this to work. Neither my results nor my clients' results are typical. These are people who actually show up and put the work in. And in moments like I had, where my course launch failed, I didn't give up. I stuck with it. I asked for support. I have worked with mentors since 2013 in order to make all of this happen. And the results that you get are entirely up to you and your ability to put the plan into place, because it's great to look at all this stuff, but if you don't actually do it, what matters, right? So this is what we're going to cover today. We're now going to go through the full overview of the system, covering where we will find the leads and how we will convert them. So this is what I call our social selling circle. Now, if you've been on a masterclass with me in the past, I usually take the entire masterclass to explain this circle. For today, because I really want to get to the implementation, this year I am all about actually doing the things, decide, and then do the things. So I'm going to give you the quick start version of the social selling triangle. Or this is a circle. Sorry, the social selling circle. All right. We
Yes.
start with awareness. And so what I'm going to show you is how to find awareness playgrounds. Now, you may be like, oh, I'm just downloading a bunch of cold leads and I'm going to start promoting to them. That works for some people. What we do is really based on relationships that scale. So if you're someone who is only promoting to cold leads, I don't want you to be afraid of this. You don't have to be the total, social butterfly cuckoo bird that I am. I'm going to give you a really streamlined process for this. It starts with the awareness playgrounds, showing up where your clients are already spending time. This can be online or at in-person events. If we actually met at an in-person event, just type event in the chat. I just spoke at NAMM this past week, which is the National Association for Music Merchants. That would be an awareness playground by going to an event where I'm connecting with human beings. Okay. The next is knowing your ideal client's problems. And I'm going to give you some really clear examples on how we can up awareness very easily by super specifically identifying their problems. We're going to come back to this a little more tomorrow, but I just want to give you the first step of this. Then we're going to move into the consideration phase. Now, sometimes when people are teaching content, they'll teach that your content is really on the awareness phase. And that can be true, like with that video that I had that hit 39 million. But for me, we've made a switch with this to recognize that our content is really more specifically in that consideration phase. The buying cycles are longer than ever before. And so we're going to have some people who see us, learn from us, and buy right away. But you may find that it takes some people a couple of weeks, a couple of months. I read a study recently that says it used to be like 12 touch points that people needed in order to want to buy from you. And now it's upped on average to like 50. Wild. This system that we're giving you will help you to increase those touch points. And the content system will allow you to position your solutions in front of your ideal clients so they begin to know, like, and trust you. And then they throw credit cards at your face, which is really exciting. Okay. We're going to be creating free hand-raising content. So this content is specifically geared to get people to raise their hand, say, yes, I'm interested in more information, so that then you can have conversations with them. Excuse me, I'm getting over this 100-day cold cough thing. It's almost gone, but every once in a while it sneaks up on me. Okay, so that you can have conversations with people, and these conversations are partially automated. So know that this doesn't mean that you have to spend all of your time talking to people. A lot of this we're going to automate on the other side. Those conversations then lead to sales, which is awesome. And that moves us into the delivery phase and referrals. So when you deliver a product or a service that is amazing, that leads to more referrals, it leads to more retention, and it brings people back into the awareness playgrounds. Paulson, any questions on this, or is that
I
clear?
love it. I think we're good. So does it matter what kind of offer we have, services or the industries? Does this work for local? Does this work for, or do I have to be like an influencer that's good at content?
Really, really good question. So we do have a lot of clients that are like in the expert space, but we also have clients that are brick and mortars. So there's
Okay.
this amazing they call it witchy wellness store called Becca Rose that's in Mystic, Connecticut, and we actually only have um 2 or 3 full done for you clients, and Becca Rose is one of them. So they have 3 brick and mortar locations. They have Becca Rose, they have Desert Rose, which sells jewelry, and then they also have a wholesale location. So we're using this strategy for them as well. If you're an expert, like one of our clients, Dr. E, she teaches about integrative wellness, and this has worked super well for her. And then I also just want to give a really quick example in case some people are like, yeah, this is only for coaches and consultants, because it works super well for coaches and consultants. Do you know what a tiki mug is?
Like the wooden one with the little
Yeah, I'm surprised I don't have
skeleton
one in
thing.
here. Yeah, so I told this story at NAM, and someone told me later they didn't know what a tiki mug was, so I want to make sure that I'm clear. So actually, just because I wanted to make myself happy this morning, I'm using this like little tiki hut stirrer in my coffee today. So a tiki mug, I'm obsessed with them and I collect them. So there's this company called Tiki Land Trading Company. I commented or liked a post or something on their Facebook page, and they sent me a message that said, "Hey, thanks so much for commenting on our business page. Did you know that we have a free Facebook group?" And I was like, a tiki mug Facebook group. And I was like, then they said, we'd love to invite you. So they invited me to their tiki mug Facebook group. I am now a very obsessed member with their tiki mug Facebook group. And you know what I just bought from them? A subscription to, do you know what
For
the
tiki
subscription
mug.
allows me to do? All that it does is gives me the chance to
Change.
be able to be the first to buy a tiki mug. It doesn't even give me tiki mug.
Wow.
So they're using, I mean, I'm not, they should be my client. I should reach out to them, but they're using Facebook groups for physical products like that, because if you can create a community of people who are your ideal clients, this is an amazing way to move them forward to buy.
Yeah. And I don't want to, be the dead horse on this point, but it's very important that you build your own audiences in the world of online business. So like over the years, we would run, hundreds of thousands of dollars of Facebook ads or Google ads or YouTube ads or TikTok, and we should never push them into an email list or a community or a group me or a Discord where you have control over that audience. Because as soon as like I don't know how long you guys have all been in the world of marketing, but I've seen these platforms change courses maybe 3 or 4 major times. When TikTok
Mm-hmm.
came on board, guess what? That was the public enemy number one for all other social platforms. So
No,
everybody would
that's
just
why
show term
Facebook paid
content.
me $30,000 for that video.
Yeah.
And that video was like, I just did it as an experiment to see if I could do something like that. It was a weird video, but Facebook was so trying to keep people off of TikTok and keep them on Facebook that they
Yeah.
paid me $30,000. That is stupid of them, but I took it. So it's
Yeah,
okay.
so is YouTube, right? YouTube
Yeah.
launched short-term short reels and all these different things. So what that means is like now when you do paid ads, you have to understand the strategic concept of how these platforms are competing with each other. And every once in a while, some of the platforms will just shut out a certain industry. They'll be like, you know what? No more cannabis on Facebook or no more e-commerce. I remember every e-commerce platform used to be on Facebook and crush it. Now that's not so much the case. You don't see all of that on Facebook. So they change courses on their strategy, which is why it's important to build your own audience list of
This party bus thing is so
email.
important. Like,
You need to have your own party bus.
get
That's
your
what I'm
own party bus.
establishing. Yeah.
And then we're going to guide the party bus back through all of these pieces. So I'm going to show you how we do that, but I just want to make sure you see this is where we're moving people through this whole magical adventure. And the one piece that I didn't mention yet is you. So you are actually at the center of the social selling circle. This is helpful for bringing in clients. It's also helpful for bringing in partnerships. So another client of ours that I didn't mention is a company called Street Tree Revival, and they sell wood slabs, okay? Like giant wood slabs. They take trees that have been removed from city streets or community streets when they're at end of life, and they revive them into these beautiful wood slabs. Well, because of building relationships, they built a partnership. I get goosebumps when I talk about it because I think it's so flippin' cool with Taylor Guitar. So Taylor now has a line of guitars called the Urban Ash that is made out of city trees because of focusing on that brand messaging like we're doing today and those relationships. So it is powerful. Now, this is the actual pipelines that we use. So if you are new to pipelines, I'm going to go a little slow through this. If you are using high level and you are like a rock star user, this may give you a really like amazing shift in the way that you're using your pipelines. Okay, so I'm actually going to stop sharing again just for 1 second because I have to show you something. So when I used to, I have like props. I'm like a puppet show over here. When I used to speak, when I used to speak at events, I would speak at events and I would say at the end, like back in the day, I would say, okay, now thank you so much for being here. And I know this feels a little overwhelming. So if you would like our full video content planner, I'm going to give you an opportunity to get that. So go into your bag, take out your business card, and I'm going to bring around this. So I took this bag and this is the actual bag from one of the events. It is filled with business cards. Okay. This was an original OG pipeline. All of these strategies work offline and online. They'll just work better and more streamlined if you're online. Now, people would put their business cards in here, and then I would say, stop. Before you put your business card in the bag, I have an opportunity for a few of you to get a one-on-one call with me. If you'd like a one-on-one call with me, just fold your business card in half. So people would fold their business card in half. It would go in this bag. Then my team member at the time, Kelly Tenney, and I would drive home from the event. And you know what we would do? I would take out my phone and I would take out my phone. I would hold my phone and I would record an individual video for every single person who gave me a business card.
Oh my
And I would
God.
send the video to them.
That's insane. But
Insane.
that was the normal thing to do, like, 5, 6 years ago. Like, dude, that was the way to go about it. Like, even a regular comment, people would just do a video on the comments.
Totally. Oh my gosh, you're right. And then also the other thing that I would do is if I was traveling, I would take a photo of every single image or every single business card and I would send it to my team. Or I remember there was a time when like it was a big, huge deal that there was an email tool that would like automatically load these things into your account, whatever. Okay, we don't need to do any of that anymore because we have the internet. So let me show you how we're going to do this now with high level. So we start with these awareness playgrounds. On here, you can see I'm using Instagram and Facebook as an example. Like I said, live events work really well here too. If you're active on TikTok, TikTok will work, whatever. Those are your awareness playgrounds. Then we move people into a pipeline that we call a community pipeline. So this is anyone that I've ever connected with. They're all in my main community pipeline. So this is like your email list, right? Depending on how many people you have on your email list, you may really focus on this community pipeline. For me right now, since our email list is larger, the community pipeline is kind of like, we don't focus on it as much, but we have automations that move people through that community pipeline. From there, what we will do is we will say, hey, you can come straight into our Facebook group. So we also have a separate group pipeline. And what I'm going to give you is special pop-up group pipeline. So the strategy that we're going over for these next 3 days is specifically for what we call a pop-up group. And if you don't want to create lots of little pop-up groups, you actually can use this to fill your main Facebook group as well. And when we get into that part, I'll show you the difference between these two. There's a lot of nuance to this. So please know that we'll take time for questions and stuff at the end as well. It's just, I'm showing you like the main strategy, and then we're going to get granular. And then
Yes.
from
And those of you that are watching, you know, a lot of the advanced folks are like, okay, Molly, I get it. I get the concept. Let's get to the workflows. Let's build it out. Let's go into it. And then we have a lot of brand new people who's like, wait, I'm so new to the world of business and marketing. Help me understand the strategy. So be patient. We're going to get very techy here pretty soon. Like we're going to get very techy.
And I
Really
promise
build
before we
things
go to
out.
the next slide, I'm actually going to show you this in high level. So
Yes.
good point. So we've got this group pipeline. Now this group pipeline, for this purpose of this workshop, is where we're going to move people through toward our masterclass. So this is going to track people on the client journey as they join our Facebook group, and we get them towards the goal, which is to move into our sales pipeline. Now, for the purposes of today, we're actually going to be using either an application or a call or a product page for whatever it is that you're doing in your business. The sales transaction piece could happen in different places. Again, that's an application, a call, or a product page. Just because I couldn't teach every single unique strategy, for the purposes of this, I'm using an application and a call as the main strategy. But no, if you're selling like a skincare package, obviously you're not going to have someone fill out an application. So you get to customize this to your business.
Although if you did, more than likely they will all fill it out.
Oh my gosh, that's true. And I mean, maybe you have like a skincare quiz that actually could work super well. So maybe you do
Yeah.
want an application.
So your point is like the sales flow will depend on the business's, you know, actual sales activities and how they really do things. So some people do appointment setting and then a closer call. Some people do online funnels and then a calendar. Some people just do, you know, a straight up one call close. So you have different ways to do sales depending on your skill set and the team that you have behind you. And that's all coming from communities or group. Is that right?
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
Totally. 100%.
What's the difference between a community and a group?
So a community, do you want me to show you like actually on Facebook? Would that be helpful?
No. We'll get there when we get there.
Okay. Okay.
Just
So
in general.
the basic version is that the community is like anyone that you've connected with. So for example, I went to a show last night. I went and saw my friend Bobby did this like piano concert with like a jazz thing. It was really cool, like a cabaret. I went with my son. We went to this like speakeasy thing beforehand. It was really awesome. And there was this guy that I met there who was there with his wife who teaches on AI as well. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to be connecting with you. That's such a random thing to meet at a musical theater or a jazz concert, right? And he and I were talking and he said, let's connect on LinkedIn. And I am not the best at connecting on LinkedIn. And I was like, yeah, great. Send me a message. And I said, are you active on Facebook? P.S. This is me using my awareness playground. I said, are you active on Facebook? And he was like, oh yeah, I'm super active there. I said, you know what? Would you send me a message? And I didn't have my phone on me because my son had it. I said, would you send me a message? And he said, yeah. So he sent me a message. And then I said, can I ask you a really weird favor? So could you take a photo of us and send it to me so I don't forget who we are? And so he then sent me a photo. Guess what's going to happen next? He goes into my community pipeline.
Okay.
So anyone that has connected with me and I use Instagram and Facebook, and we're not going to dive too deep into this, but I use a tool to help make sure that I keep everyone in my Facebook community so that I'm actively moving them into my group.
So the way you're defining community is like your active network, where
correct. It's like someone I've connected with.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And for me, that's mainly online. So I have a lot of lot of activity on my personal Facebook profile. So anyone who engages, comments on my personal Facebook profile, that would be part of my community.
Got it. Okay, cool. And then paid membership, mid-level, high level, what does that all mean?
Yeah. This is, and it says paid membership here, but again, this doesn't need to be necessarily a membership. It could be that they've bought one tiki mug from you and you're moving them into signing up for your subscription service where they can buy more. And then this is where they're like having you outfit their whole tiki apartment.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just different. This is based on different pricing levels that you have in your programs. And we'll have separate pipelines. We're not going to dive into this during this workshop, but just so you see where you're going with it, we have separate pipelines to make sure that people are consuming what they purchased and buying again and staying with us forever and becoming referral partners. Cool?
Makes sense. I'm following.
Amazing. Okay, we're going to jump into high level just really quick so you can see what this looks like when it's all in action. And so right now, for those of you that are new to high level, just know, and this is my my customized version, so it may look a little different than the one that you have, but you'll see that you've got loads of tools available to you in here. And I recognize that when you first log in, it may feel like, oh my gosh, there's so much that I can do here. I'm going to give you very specific places to go so that you can turn this into sales. And one of the very specific places that we'll be focusing on is in this opportunity section. And when we give you this snapshot, you will get both of these pipelines. Is it cool if I go through this?
Absolutely. And let me just double check the room real quick, Molly. How many
Yeah.
of you are brand new and you've never seen high level before? Give me a one in the comments inside any of our streaming. Give me a one in the comment if you want me or Molly to do a quick like 30-second demo of high level so you have context to what this is. If you've never seen high level before, give me a one in the comment. If there's enough people, what we can do is do a quick overview.
And we could actually, let's see from on Zoom, if you can just raise your hand if you're new, like Michelle just did, raise your hand if you're new, because that's kind of like a way for us. It's like we're on Clubhouse where you're like,
Oh my God, I remember Clubhouse. Forgot about that. That's another group we need to talk about.
you know.
Okay, there's a lot of people that are new. So if we can do like a 1 minute power quick demo, if it's even
Yeah,
possible, that'll be awesome.
I would
Okay,
love it. And again, like Paulson said earlier, we're going to get super advanced here by the end of this. So
you
those of you
know,
that are already advanced, just know we got it coming for you. Okay. So you want me to just start at the top and go through?
do you want to go to like the agency view real quick and
Oh,
like
sure.
so yeah. So when you log into high level, you'll come across what
Ah,
we call the agency
hold on.
dashboard. It's
Hold on. I'm going to do my privacy mode. Sorry. Hold
yeah,
on.
go for it.
So I'm like sharing people's information. Hold on.
I mean, I could even pull up my high level account as well if you want me to.
Maybe can you do that just so I don't
Yeah, yeah.
accidentally I
Or
have that privacy mode thing, but that may be a better idea.
yeah, no. I'll just go bare minimum, just so everybody can see.
Thank
Okay,
you.
cool. Y'all see my screen? Give me a one in the chat if you can see my screen.
I
Okay,
got it.
this is one of our educational accounts, so don't worry, this is not our real account. So when you log in at high level, you'll come across something like this. This is what we call the agency view. Agency view is the parent view. And then the sub-account view is the child view. So it's like parent-child relationship, okay? You as the agency is the parent, your customers are the child, essentially, or the children. So when you log in, you have these menus. So you have agency dashboard, which gives you like an overarching idea of where things are. SaaS configurator. So this is a, go ahead, Molly.
We have a lot of members in our community who aren't using the agency account yet. So I think this is also really important for you guys to know. If you can upgrade to this agency view. So some of you may not be able to see the agency view because you're actually on a different account,
On a
right? A different type of
sub-account view.
account.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like your clients essentially won't see this view. I'm just showing this to you as the provider, essentially.
Yeah.
So long
Which
story
is what's
short,
so cool and so unique about high level for those people that are new. You can build out your own system that you then share with your community members. And so, which like we have ours is called Star Funnels. You can white label it. We're very clear that it's high level that we're using, but this is like, it's so incredibly powerful because of what Paulson's sharing with you right now.
yeah. Let me just good point. Let me just step back for 1 second and help people understand what in the world high level is. High level is the first ever operating system in the world of marketing. Where it allows you to build your own CRMs, then go create your own subscription revenue for whatever business you want with your branding on it. And you keep 100% of the revenue. That's why people go crazy about high level lists. Not that it's all the features, that's one cool thing, but our system allows you to debrand and use our operating system of like 600 plus features and build your own brand and subscriptions around it. Does that make sense? It's the first ever operating system, very similar to Salesforce. And, obviously they're like 30 years ahead of us, but that's the way you would look at high level. Does everybody understand that?
And so if you're, I love the clapping. Thank you. The reactions are super helpful for my need for your connection. Thank you. So if you're not necessarily, if someone isn't a marketing agency or doesn't necessarily want to use it that way, there's still ways that you could actually use the agency version by building out different types of things within your own company. You also can use this as a user and simply get the customized version that we're giving you right now. So there's several different ways that you can use the tool.
Absolutely. So whenever you log in and you have an admin rights or you have a parent account or an agency account, you come into a dashboard that looks like this. You can customize this however you want. And we have then called SaaS Configurator. SaaS Configurator is basically a feature that we have where you can go and build. So you can remember I said there's 600 features inside of high level. You can take maybe 5 of those and build your own subscription, then go to market and charge $500 a month, up to you, right? Or you can give them all 600 and overwhelm the crap out of them. But it's all possible that you can build your own subscription plans. So and then you can take that subscription and combine it with your offer. Even if you're a local business and let's say you want to franchise your business, a lot of franchisees take high level and they build their own relevant feature stack to their local businesses. So that's the main thing about the SaaS configurator that you're going to see. Number two is the prospecting. This is very much a local driven feature where you can click on add prospect and then you can search a city and find out if you go through it, you can run the audit. You can basically identify all the local businesses in one area that doesn't have certain features so we know is relevant. So like Google My Business, web chat, websites, funnels. If they don't have those things or listings, like the system will tell you these businesses don't have it. And then what's cool about it, you can actually let me just you can even let me just search Dallas, Texas. So if I do a search real quick and then it'll pull up like a list like this of all the businesses in that area and tell me what they're missing. And
Can you
then
actually,
it'll
can you search by like topic? Like, can you
let's
search
just
like
say
tiki? Type in tiki, see what happens.
it's gonna be Tiki.
Tiki bar.
Oh, okay. Tiki Bar, Dallas, near Dallas. Let's see. Okay, we have a bunch of tiki
You
bars in
guys, if you
place.
want to launch a marketing agency for tiki bars, what just happened?
So now when you go through this, you'll see what it's missing. Like it'll tell you, okay, this business right here, Lemon Lounge, Tiki Bar, they're missing a Google My Business profile.
This
That
is the
means
coolest thing ever.
yeah. So what's crazy is you can click on this. I don't want to go through and waste time. You can click on it, and the system will automatically create an audit for you, PDF style, that you can email them and say, hey, you're missing XYZ. Can we do business together? So you could even go pretty deep and automate that whole thing. So that's the prospecting tool, and that's
Okay,
going to
and I
be
just want to make sure
Google.
this is only on the agency level.
Correct. This is the parent view that we're in still. It's the agency level provider view. Sub accounts are basically locations. So you can basically have a list of all your locations. And here, if you on the bottom left side, you'll see WordPress, you'll see Yext, you'll see SaaS mode, you'll see Lead Connector, which is our gray label brand. You basically see what they're missing. Account snapshots are basically your garage for automation templates.
And so
Reselling is where
the
you could,
snapshots are something like that's what we're giving you today. So again, even if I know we have a lot of people who are not necessarily marketing agencies, I just want you to know, even if you're not a marketing agency, you could have these snapshots built out to give your team members different things, to build out different types of funnels or flows
yeah.
within your
Yeah.
own business.
Yeah, certain businesses have a snapshot for each department. Like an account management snapshot is going to be different than your prospecting and sales department. So snapshots are, your IP. You can buy it, you can distribute it, you can download it, you can get it for free at a workshop at high level, little things like that. Reselling is where you can add services like we have a marketplace and there's a ton of services you can add to it. Marketplaces where you can buy services or products. Affiliate portal is when you have your own. It's like when you want to sell high level or your own brand as an affiliated product, you want to build your own affiliate dashboard where you keep track of your own affiliates. That's where you can do that. That's a built-in affiliate system. Template libraries, exactly what that is. You can basically download brand new websites and funnels and just literally for free. There's like hundreds and hundreds in there.
And we're going to get into
Partner.
that more with the social media stuff also, because I actually created a template for you based on this as well. So it is like, it's dope.
Absolutely. Partners is where you can find certified high levelers where they've been vetted and proctored, and like literally we know that they're an expert, and there's like a directory. So you can click here and find someone that's already certified. University is where I don't want to click this. Is where we have hundreds of courses in there. You can download it. SaaS education, we have courses around that. SaaS Fast Track, we're sunsetting it. So it's still there. You can download it, but we're about to get rid of it. Ideas is where you can go and put your ideas as a high leveler. You're like, you know what? I'm missing a certain feature. Go to ideas and type that in, get enough votes. We'll go develop it. Mobile app is self-explanatory, is where you can find a mobile version of whatever system you build out or high level. App marketplace is where all of our developers are, where you can find integrations that you can essentially pull in. So now that's the parent view. Everybody doesn't need it. That's if you're going to build like an agency or a provider service of some kind. Now, if I go inside one of um, a
Here, I
sub
can do, if you want me to
account,
take over this one.
yeah, go for it. Go for it.
Okay.
Does that help? Am I overdoing this? Let me
No,
just
I think
double
I know
check.
that we have people
Okay.
at all different levels. So again, today is the first day. We're
Okay.
going to get really deep as we go in. I just want to make sure everybody's on the
I
same page. So I
know.
think that's it. That's great.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
about to get really techie, and I don't want to lose people because we're about
Yeah.
to go techie with a bunch of people that have never seen high level before. Now, look, Molly's version is different. It's purple and it's dancing and it's got stars where mine doesn't, which means you can customize high level however you want, including the left side of menu and colors and all that.
All kinds of
But cool.
magic.
You're just
So
so much cooler. Go for
and
it.
in here, so I'm just going to go super quick. So we've got this dashboard where this brings in all of your stats. So remember, this is on the entry level version of high level. Mine looks a little different because I've customized it, but I'm going to show you just a little bit of what we're going to give you when you guys get the snapshot for this. So the conversations is where you actually talk to people across different platforms. So that's all of your like Instagram, Facebook, that can all come in here. I'm going to make sure I turn this on again. Okay, let's see. Is that working? Maybe. Nope.
Yeah.
Hold on. Okay. So these are all the different conversations: Instagram, Messenger, text message, email, all in one place, which is amazing. Your calendars go here. And this can like sync, so you don't need Calendly anymore. It basically replaces all of the 7 million tools that you had all over the place. You put them all into one. You get to cancel everything else. It is awesome. Your contacts all go here. You can build automations based off of this. You have all their information in here. And then the main thing that I wanted to focus on today, so I'm going to pause on this one for just a moment, is the opportunities. So for expert high levelers, this is what you're going to get in these two pipelines. We're going to give you these two pipelines when we give you this snapshot, and we're going to go through how to actually use it on the third day. But I just wanted to give you a heads up of what we're heading toward.
Yeah.
So when
Pipelines or opportunities are basically customer journeys that you can customize.
yes. So when someone registers for your pop-up masterclass, what will happen is there's an automation that will actually create. I'm just going to create this.
I've never seen the privacy view before. That's insane. I've never seen that.
It's a
And I'm not a
secret.
techie. That's probably why.
It's a
But
secret
that's
thing.
pretty
It's a
cool.
secret.
That is so cool.
It is
Wait, is
cool,
that
right?
customized for yourself or is that part of native eye level?
No, it's an extra add-on that I have.
Man, okay,
I
cool. I need to
know.
download
But it's a
that.
good idea. We've got to put it on. We should put it on the wish
That
list.
is cool. That's cool
Okay,
for
so
them.
let's say I'm at an event. It is cool, right? But that's just my name. You can kind of see it says Molly Mahoney. But let's say I'm at an event and someone's like, oh yeah, I would love to join you in your masterclass. So I can manually add them in here. What we're giving you is an automation that when someone signs up, an opportunity is automatically created and they're put into this registered stage in the pipeline. From there, what happens as we move people forward, the magic of these pop-up Facebook groups is that we actually get their email address when they join the pop-up group. So we have ways to then move them from registered to joined group. Then we have all of these different actions set up here where we can move them through to send a welcome message, send a reminder message that they've watched the masterclass. We send a replay message. We send a follow-up invite message. If they request a call or an application, they go here. For me in my stages in my business, my client journey, when they actually book a call or fill out an application, it automatically in the automations that we'll give you, it will automatically move them into this tracking in sales pipeline. So the way that we do this is once they move into the sales pipeline, they all get put into this stage, and then they automatically get put into this first stage inside. And I'm doing this manually right now because we'll do the automations on the third day, but they automatically get put into this completed application, booked call, whatever the right stage is here. And then from here, we have a whole system for getting them to actually purchase from you.
Yeah. So Molly, what you're saying is this is kind of like a Trello pipe drive view mode for
Exactly.
all the automations you have behind the scenes in moving them automated completely in the customer journey with you having the power to manually move somebody if you want to.
It's really a combination between both human and
Okay.
manual, or sorry, automated. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So what's the difference between the two pipelines? The first one was the community or group, and the other one is the sales
Yeah, so the
pipeline.
first one that we're giving you is the group pipeline. And then so
Okay.
this is like a marketing qualified lead. And once they have identified, hey, I actually want to buy from you, I'm interested in buying from you, we move them into the sales pipeline. And the reason this is so important is that once you do the rest of the strategies I'm going to give you today, we're going to go through and AI-ify your whole entire brand. We're going to give you
Okay.
content tomorrow to get them to raise their hand. What happens is it's like you unlock this bottle of social media champagne and you need to be able to put it all back in the bottle because you'll have comments, you'll have things coming in all over the place. And it's like, how do we actually follow up with these people? This is how you know who to follow up with. The automations are in place. We have emails and text messages and everything that we're going to give you, and we're going to move them forward to actually purchasing.
Absolutely. And you may not, there's 600 features inside of high level. We may not use all of it.
We
We're going to use
definitely
the
won't use all of
relevant,
them.
we're going to use the relevant ones to help you create a social selling system. That's the whole point of the workshop. So stay with us. Let's keep going.
Okay, so you'll see, I'm not going to go deep into it, but you'll see we're going to be getting into the marketing where we have all kinds of things like emails, trigger links, different things like that, templates, SMS. We'll have automations. These are all the automations that you're going to get. There's a bunch of them. We'll be building out sites for you as well. We have funnels that we're giving you. They're awesome in there. All kinds of stuff that we're be diving into. It's
Molly,
really good.
I don't think they believed us when we said it's about to get really techy.
It's so
We're
good.
about this is gonna be exciting. I'm excited for you, all of you. And I'm not a techie, by the way. So I'm gonna ask the elementary basic questions to kind of bring Molly back into okay, let's talk about the strategy again because I'm lost. So all of you that are not techie, you're my people. So Molly's gonna be
Amazing.
the engineer.
And I see some really awesome questions coming through in the chat. Do we have team members in the chat answering those questions?
Jordan is fielding the live stream, but eventually after the live stream, we'll go through the comments because there's like 600 plus comments. So
Okay,
yeah,
great. So for
yeah.
me, what's always helpful with that is if when you ask a question, if you can put a Q in the front of it, then we'll make sure that we find those questions and come back to them. So I see,
Yeah.
I get it. There's a couple of really quick questions that I'd love to address if that's
Yes,
okay. So,
absolutely.
okay,
There was
Sean
one
said,
about
what is this
SaaS
tool called?
configurator too. Yeah.
Yeah, so Sean said, what is this tool called? So this is all high level. This workshop is being done in conjunction with high level and the prepared performer. That's me, my company. So we have a free trial for you. It's a 30-day free trial. And we can drop that link in the chat. Maybe Jordan, you can put that link in the chat for people. And then we have some questions about the SaaS configurator. And Michelle said, how do I get from agency to where Molly is on the free trial plan? I don't know. Like just if they want to upgrade to the agency, is that just the upgrade link?
Yeah, it is the upgrade link. Yeah,
Okay.
that's it. So if you have an existing account that is not white labeled, right? Because if you're a client of someone inside of high level, you need to talk to your provider. Like you're not going to be able to come directly to high level and just sign up for an account and survive because there's hundreds and hundreds of features and it's a big operating system. So if you have an existing account, inside of high level, you could upgrade if you want to like the the plan I showed you was the 497 plan. So the only thing that is missing from the regular plans is the SaaS mode, SaaS configurator, the ability for you to build like subscriptions. You could do that in the 297 plan, but it's all manual, and then you got to do manual billing, which gets all messy. But if you're not interested in SaaS, you can easily just jump into a 30-day trial and see all of it. So let's see what we're looking at. So we have the group pipeline, sales pipeline, the offers behind it. What else?
Okay, great. Then here's the other secret. So we've got all this stuff that we're building out, right? So we're going to get to that on day 3. I just kind of wanted to show you where we're heading. Tomorrow, we're going to be covering all of the content. Before we get to that, there's one more secret we need to cover, which is this. This secret may increase your visibility. It may increase your engagement. It may increase your sales, and it may make you feel really uncomfortable. So I'm going to share this secret with you because this is going to be the key to making all of this work. Someone shared one of my videos and said this girl annoys me, LOL, but she's got good advice. And if she can do it, you can too. I was like, what? Are you actually kidding me? So I replied and I said, you guys know I can see what you write when you share. My blend of crazy isn't for everyone, but I'm glad you were able to find some helpful nuggets. Grateful for the share. I hope you're able to connect with your audience in your own unique way.
Yeah, no tiki cup for them.
No tiki mug for them. And then they replied, she is rather annoying, LOL. What? Okay. It continued on. This repetitive, not attractive, but funny person is getting hidden today. First of all, I would rather be funny than attractive any day. So there you go. I've seen this 50 times. Her lisp is irritating. I have had dentures since I was 12 years old. So I didn't realize I had such a lisp until I started getting comments like this from this speech therapist who wanted me to hire her because she commented about my lisp in one of my first big videos. Really fun, rude people. And this one is my favorite. This guy commented on a YouTube video and said, "You talk too much. That's how you make money. And it's annoying." And I said to him, "I'd like to personally thank you for inspiring the most liked post of the year. The Chatty Moneybags marketing coach costume was a hit." This is what we did in response to this troll. So I give you this gift so that you are prepared for next Halloween. Okay. I said to this was like a trend that was happening on social, right? My point here is that we only focus on the pain points usually of our ideal clients, but if we can focus on the tickle points, we will unlock even more organic reach. So my team was like, "Oh, these things are kind of funny. What if we did a social media marketing one?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's not that funny." So I went to my husband and I said, "Hey, if we take one of my troll comments and we make a costume based on it, what would you call me?" And he was like, "Duh, you're a Chatty Moneybags marketing coach." Okay. Now, this includes a banana phone, which in the very beginning, if you heard, we shared what we wanted to gain out of a result of being on this training. What we do in our community is everybody gets a golden banana phone. You call your future gratitudes in on the banana phone, which is why it comes with a banana phone. Okay. It also comes with 20 pairs of sparkly pants. I really love sparkle pants. 200 talks too much templates, obviously, an extra bucket of possibility, and 1 bag of Brussels sprouts, which I will explain later. Also, you'll notice it says not included car keys. She can't find them. That came from my husband as well. Okay. Now, this post had 433 likes, 122 comments, and 4 shares. This is a community post that is helping me to build my community pipeline of people that I know really resonate with my brand. This kind of stuff would not be possible if I did not actually know what my brand was. So when you are willing to actually show up, figure out your brand, and make fun of yourself, things do even better. The secret behind all of this is not a new social media platform. It is also, this is like the history of social media platforms. See, poor Clubhouse. Wow. We'll talk about it again. It's also not AI. I love AI, but in most cases, this is what people are creating. You're boring me to death. I'm already dead. You're boring me back to death. The secret to making all this work is actually you. And so what we're going to do is we're going to dive into how to identify your unique differentiator. Your weird plus AI magic is how we're going to create content that stands out. And this may make you feel like, "Oh, but I'm not that weird." Guess what? You are weird. You are a weirdo. There are weirdos everywhere, and you are one of them. So we're going to identify what is it that makes you weird, which is going to skyrocket, as ChatGPT would say, skyrocket your sales. Most people are trying to be something that they're not. You are not most people. That is why you are here with us building all of this out. And it's also why I'm making this the main focus of today, is identifying how to really get clear about your brand before we move into the automations. Because if you don't figure out who you are, who your company is, and what you stand for, so you can connect with your ideal client, none of the other stuff is going to work. And I just want to say, these guys are so great at this. I remember the first time that I met Sean, I was actually emceeing traffic and conversion, and
Oh
I
yeah.
didn't know what high level was. Paulson, do you know this story?
I've heard it once. Go ahead.
Okay, I didn't know what high level was, but I was standing on stage and I was emceeing the virtual stage at TNC. I think this was in 2021. Y'all, Sean had the craziest group of people like attacking his booth. And I've done a lot of events, I've done a lot of trade shows, and I was like, who is that tall dude with all of those people around him? Well, I figured it out. I figured out why the team, the founders at High Level, are so amazing. It's because of their shoes. You can't fully see it the way that I have this photo on here, but they're all wearing really amazing shoes. And the amazing shoes are actually like a secret for they're amazing human beings underneath it, and they prioritize the humans in the community. So this is us taking a shoe fee, which I thought was awesome.
We are all little sneakerheads in here.
If you love shoes like I do, drop the word shoes in the chat. Okay, now what this really comes down to, figuring out your weird, is about this strategy that I call the quesadilla of awesome. And what it is, it's we figure out what makes you a uniquely awesome human being. So what I want you to do, and I know I can't see you on camera, but I'm just going to imagine that you're doing this with me. So you have to actually promise me that you're going to do this, okay? And, oh my gosh, my Zoom just froze. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your hands like this. And if I can do this with my arm in a cast, you can do it. Paulson, do it with me. Okay. In your hands right here, you're going to say all of the benefits that you provide in your business, whether you're selling tiki mugs or marketing services or, life coaching, health services, whatever it is, solar, I don't care. Put it all inside here. Okay. All of this is in here. I looked at the microphone as if you could see me. Okay. So put it all inside here. Now, on the count of three, we're going to take all of these business benefits and we're going to throw them up in the air. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now, all of our benefits are floating above us, just like Mikey TV and Willy Wonka, right? So like all the 600 high level features, everything else that we're offering, it's all floating up there. And Paulson, what are you left with?
Just me.
Right? Now, some people will say nothing or like only me, right? But you're left with you, which is both the most amazing and the most terrifying thing to be left with. If you are a marketing agency, this is such an amazing exercise to go through with your clients. We built out this entire system that we're doing right now. We did for Jeff Walker in 2020. We took the entire PLF system, we put it into a Facebook group. It did bananas well. I did this exercise with Jeff Walker. So if you're feeling like this seems a little silly, know that even Jeff Walker did this. If you don't know who Jeff Walker is, Google it. Okay. He's like the OG of marketing. So when we do this, what we're going to do is we're going to make a list of the 20 things that make you a uniquely awesome human being. And we call this the quesadilla of awesome because everyone has something that makes them uniquely awesome, even if it's just that you make an amazing quesadilla. Okay. So now this is an acronym. I'm going to tell you. The acronym is the word SAVE. You may think SAVE has 4 letters. I can't spell, so it actually has 5 letters. So you get over my bad spelling, which has gotten even worse with this cast on my arm. Okay. So the first thing is your skill sets. These are the things that you're naturally gifted at. I'm giving you examples on here like puzzle solving, swimming, math, momming so hard, whatever your natural skill sets are. The next thing is your appearance. Now, the appearance section isn't about what other people think about you. It's about what you think about you. Because if you're like Paulson and you're doing 26 streams a month, you're probably confident on camera. But if you're like the rest of us, when we turn the camera on, there's these gremlins that pop up, these gremlins that like, oh, I don't know. The reason my bangs are purple and blue is because I started getting this gray stripe only right here. And at the time when I would go live, it looked like I had a bald spot on the side of my head. And I was like, can we just bleach that and dye it? Then 2020 happened. And now I'm like fabulously gray. So, but we need to like celebrate those things, right? These are the things that I have on mine. And the next is the more confident also, by the way, that you are with this, the more your energy will be palpable and come through the screen. When you feel great about how you look, other people feel great about the energy that you provide. Okay. Whoa, shoot. This went so fast. Okay. The next is activities. So for me, it's singing, crocheting, dancing, Pelotoning, sunset watching. These are the things that allow you to connect as a human being. They make great posts. They are common denominators. This would be like the shoes would fit in the appearance thing, but shoe buying could fit in your activities too if you really like shoes.
Or
Okay.
sneakerhead. Yeah.
Or sneakering, exactly. Okay. And the next is your values. So for us and my community, kindness, joy, staying in action, empathy, equity, these are all things that are really important to me. And honestly, when I think about it, it makes me cry because Sean has been so clear with me. And all of the founders of High Level are amazing. And I'm so glad I got to meet everybody at the Level Up event. I've talked to Sean more than anybody else. And Kelsey also, Kelsey, if you're here right now, I love you so much. So Kelsey
Shout
is,
out, Kelsey.
hey,
Yep.
Kelsey, is a member of the team. And at Social Media Marketing World several years ago, Kelsey and I had this conversation about how in a lot of spaces like this, a lot of really hardcore techie marketing spaces, there just aren't very many women. You saw that that book that I shared where I was featured with some other cool dudes and I was the only female there. Well, Kelsey and I had a talk about how we wanted to make sure that other women in this space see that they have space here as well. And so I love the way that High Level does this without going like crazy over the top, but they allow all kinds of humans to be featured and to share things here so that you guys know we're all included. That's not the case with every tech company. So for me, that was something that I really appreciated about High Level, which had it's like a lot of the reason that I love you guys so much and that I'm so hardcore behind this tool. So whatever
I love that. I don't think anybody even notices that, but I'm glad you said something because like I'm very pro like we've got to make sure we're equal in all areas, bring in female entrepreneurs, minorities, like any sectors that you could think of. I'm very conscious of that. And I think it's because we care so much about our customers because we're all different in our own ways. So when you say yes, the quesadilla of awesomeness, we're well aware of that awesomeness and make sure all awesomeness gets spread they spread the
elevated.
exactly.
Yes. I mean, it's actually interesting that you said no one said it before because you guys don't like beat it over the head. It's not like some huge big thing, but
I mean
I know you.
it's just the culture. It's just like that's just a standard we have of like, okay, let's make sure we're fair to everyone.
I love it so much. So much. Okay. And that's going to, whatever that culture is for you, you're going to find that you actually attract or detract people based on that. So some people find that I have too much joy. I'm too positive. We have too much fun. That's okay. They can go somewhere else, or they deal with the fun because they know they're going to get this awesome snapshot at the end. So, right. I have all kinds of stories about that. Okay. And then the final thing is the things you like to eat. Now, this is where the Brussels sprouts come into play, because if you can find food that is polarizing, like Brussels sprouts or sushi or pineapple on I was going to say pineapple on pasta. Have you ever put pineapple on pasta? I don't know. Pineapple on pizza.
Pizza.
You will create engagement. So what I would love to do is give you my favorite engagement post for Facebook. So I want you to go to your personal Facebook profile right now, and I want you to write these 5 words. The words are Brussels sprouts, yes or no. Brussels sprouts, yes or no. Okay, when you do that, don't put a picture, don't do anything else. We're going to come back at the end and I'm going to show you how you're going to turn that Brussels sprouts post into sales. It may not seem like it's possible, but I promise you it is. Brussels sprouts, yes or no. Go post it right now. Once you've posted it, type done in the chat. If you've already done the Brussels sprouts post like liver and onions, yes or no. Some sort of other polarizing food. What polarizing food could we use, Paulson? What's another example?
Um, let's see. Polarizing food that I'm a big fan of zebra cakes. You know, zebra cakes? You
Okay.
know, it's like a Twinkie thing and it's like so sugary, so unhealthy for you. But I'm a raving fan of zebra cakes.
Okay, so if you wove zebra cakes into your brand, you would get people who were loving them and also people who are really mad about it, which is amazing. Okay, so once you have this list of things here, oh, and also this is the book that we're going to give away when you drop your nuggets. It's called Finding My Awesome. It's a children's book that I wrote based on the quesadilla of awesome. And so share your favorite nuggets so far. We're about to dive into our AI prompts, but I just want to know what your best nugget so far is in the chat. And then before we dive into these AI prompts, I'm going to show you what to do with the quesadilla of awesome. So you're going to take your hands like this. And then Paulson, I need you to actually show this as well because it's hard for me to do with my hand, but you're going to actually tap them on your chest. So you're going to tap, I can't do it with my right hand, but tap your hands on your chest like this, both of them. Use both hands. Yeah, good. You're going to tap your hands like this. Okay. And then you're going to move your shoulders. I don't know if we can see you, but move your shoulders. Good. Okay. And then you're going to hum. Okay, so we're thinking about all the list of the things that make us awesome, and we're gonna go, okay. And this, you're thinking about all the things that make you awesome. It's so good. And we call this the money dance.
The money dance.
Okay. So before you go live, before you write your emails, before you take the emails that I'm going to give you and customize them for yourself, you're going to tap into your own unique version of awesome. And we're actually going to give this list to AI as well. Some of you may know Jeff Hunter, awesome friend, loves AI.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. When I taught him this, he was like, oh my gosh, this is blowing my mind because I never thought of telling AI what I wear. But Jeff Hunter has a very clear, specific way that he dresses, right? And so this is something that we're going to infuse into the AI strategies that we're using so that whoever you are as the face of the brand is woven through the company. Now, even if you're selling a physical product or like you're selling wood slabs or guitars or, wellness products, there's a human being behind the brand. And at some point, as we move forward in terms of AI, what people have said is that like real experts are saying that the more data we have to feed to the AI, the more we'll be able to stand out. And that's the case right now. But what happens in a couple of years when all of the data is already fed in there? How do we actually stand out? The only way is because you are a human being behind the brand. Look at how High Level has done this. Like Paulson is a human being behind the brand, and we know him as a human who runs these workshops. It's awesome.
Right.
Okay. Are you ready to move on to the AI match?
Yes.
Okay.
Got it. So humanize as much as you can at the
Yes.
end
And
of the day.
identify what that actually is. Like, what is the human side of things? Now, what we're going to do next is we are going to AI-ify your brand voice. And so I'm going to walk you through, a full amazing template. And I also on here, and I don't know how we're going to get them that template. I don't know how we're going to get them the template, but I'm just going to use the Google Doc for right now. So just
Yeah.
know that you guys will be getting this Google Doc. Are we putting this in the chat now or?
We could put this in the chat after, or you can put it now. It's up to you. No big deal.
Let's go ahead and put it in now because what I would really love is as we do this is going to take a little bit of skill. And those of you that are in my programs, sometimes I save the Google Doc to the very end because I don't want you to go ahead. But I think for today, what we're actually going to do is going to involve a lot of cut and pasting. You're going to end up with a full AI-ified brand guide. So do you want it now? If you do, raise your hand in here. Just raise your
Give
hand.
us the one in the chat if you want
Give
us
us,
to go.
yeah, if you want it. If you don't want it and you want to just watch, then we won't share it. But if you actually want this right now, let me know.
See. Let me see what the room is wanting and saying. Yeah, give us the one in the chat. Yeah,
Okay, and
there's a
I
good amount
also
of
will
people
say,
saying
can you guys promise me that if I give you this, you're actually going to use it? Because I messaged Paulson yesterday and I was like, oh my gosh, we're giving away so much in this workshop. My people
I
are going to
know.
think that I'm crazy. I've streamlined this. So if you're in our content club or if you're in Social Sales Stars, know that this is like a simplified kind of quick start version of these documents. We have it's a little more robust in our programs, but it's really good. I don't want to give this to you unless you're actually going to use it. So promise me that you're going to use it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
We'll make sure they use it.
Okay. I think people are I think we can do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead and drop the link if you don't mind.
Okay, yeah, I will give it.
Have so
Right?
many drives in
I
Google
know, I
Docs
know. I'm
for
going to put it
me.
in the chat
I'm
here
like,
in
I don't
Zoom
want
and
to
then
put
I'll
the
put it.
wrong one in.
I'm
I don't
putting
want to
it
put the
in
wrong
Zoom.
one
I'm
in.
going to put it on Facebook as well. And
Okay,
then
awesome.
know that we'll also email this to you guys. So if for some reason you can't get it to open where we are here, it's view only. So don't request to edit it because it's view
And this is
only.
and this is the doc for day one, right?
This is just the doc for day one. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
And
Looks like voting shared as
maybe
well. Thank you,
I'm not
Jordan.
on YouTube. So if somebody can put it on YouTube too, that'd be
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. Our team will go through and
Okay.
set it up
Okay.
in
Are
there.
you guys ready? And
Yes.
honestly, I did this for a client has an event coming up and I did the whole process this morning with one hand. You guys, I could cry. I'm so excited about what I'm giving you right now. And know that I have been building this for a million years. So please don't share this all over the internet. I trust that you're going to use this for yourself. We're giving these to you as a gift for showing up here as a part of this. I was telling Paulson also, I really know that things like this, when you guys implement them, If you have questions, all of that, the real value comes in being in a community like we're in for these next 3 days. So know that if you have questions about this tomorrow, come back tomorrow. We'll be diving into more questions as well. Okay.
And by the way, Molly, big shout out to you. You're being generous when you don't have to be. You can easily like create like a cookie cutter version of all this and not provide a lot of depth, but you're going above and beyond. So big shout out to you.
Thank you.
We
Hooray.
appreciate it. I know you're doing that just for the high level community and the relationship you have with us. So we appreciate
Yeah.
it. I know people pay thousands of dollars for this in your programs and other courses and consulting and all kinds of stuff. So we definitely appreciate it. Just you get your flowers for sure,
Thank
forever and
you.
ever.
Hey, and yeah, and if you're grateful for this and all of that, I would love you to tag me in an Instagram story. So
Yes,
it's
yes,
the
please.
prepared performer.
Yeah, please do a story. Take a quick video of the Zoom and the stream. Tag Molly, tag High Level as just an act of gratitude. I would appreciate it as well.
Thank you. Okay, so what we're going to do first is we are actually going to give AI our company details. And those of you that have been through this before, I have a program that teaches you how to go into this AI brand voice. This is going to have some new updates for you guys as well, because so much has changed in the past week with the custom GPTs and all of this. If you're brand new to ChatGPT, know that you're totally good. We'll show you exactly how to use this. If you're using the paid version, it will work a little bit better, but it works with the free version as well. So know that you're totally, totally good either way. So your AI generated content is only as good as the info you give it. So what we're going to do is we're going to season your AI assistant. Think of this as onboarding a brand new team member.
Molly, I'm so
Human,
sorry to pause you. I'm so
yeah.
sorry to pause you. Can you go up to 125% on the view percentage?
Oh,
Can be
yes. Oh my
so on
gosh.
the
Can I with
top.
one hand? Hold on.
So on the top left corner, it says 100%. You see that?
On the
Uh,
top, what? Where is it? Sorry. Oh, yeah, yeah,
left
yeah, yeah.
corner.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Go to like maybe 125, maybe a little bit more. 130, 150 maybe. Is that too
Oh,
big? Oh,
yeah.
that's perfect. That's perfect,
Amazing.
actually. Yeah.
Great call. Great call.
Thank
Great
you.
call. Okay. And then also, I will say this is going to be really, you guys have the replay. So anybody who felt like we were going slow up until now, watch out, world, because we're going on the train now.
Yeah.
What we're going to do though is if you have another window of ChatGPT open, you're going to see that I'm going to go back and forth between this document and the chat. You don't need to edit this document. What you can do is come up to the left-hand side, click file, and then click make a copy. And this is where you'll make a copy like this, save it wherever you want to save it. I'm going to save it somewhere else so that it's here. I'll save it in my sales team folder. And then when you make this copy, you can now edit, make your own customizations to this. Okay. So, all right. So we're here. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to recognize that human input is actually required here. You want to take a little time and fill out these foundations. Your results will pay off in the future. My favorite thing about AI is that it forces people to do the things that they have avoided when you have marketing strategies in place. They all try to skip this step and just get to the sales, but without this, it's not going to work as well. And so what we're going to do is you're just going to take a couple minutes to fill in this information. So it's company name, owner name, how many years you've been in business, your niche, the solutions that you provide, your website, and then a value statement. And if you don't have a value statement, we're actually going to have AI write you a value statement at the end. This is what I call your value statement. I help and support this type of person to do this type of thing so that they get this kind of result without this thing they want to avoid. We do this using our XYZ method. And then after that, you're going to list out what makes your company different. Now, if you don't know what makes your company different, that's okay. We're gonna be fine, I promise you. If you don't know, this will actually help you to fill out that last section. Okay. And because we have so many people trying to go through this document, you may need to come back to it later. Don't worry. I'm going to do this live so you see what it looks like, and then you can come back to it later. Cool? Because I think it's also like so many people are trying to access it that it's like the internet, we're breaking the internet. Okay. Now I'm going to give you a little shortcut before we move into using AI. So if you don't know the answers to these questions, don't worry about it. I'll show you how to get those answers. There, it may be that it won't let you, is there a setting on this where they can't make a copy? Do you know, Paulson? Hello? I don't know. Let me see. It's set to view. So if you can't make a copy, just literally go like this. Copy the whole entire thing and copy it into another thing. But you don't need the copy right now. You can just follow along with me. Okay. Janelle asked a great question. If I'm a solopreneur, I have a company that is my name. That's totally fine. Yep. Totally good.
Yep.
Okay. Great. So you may need to be logged into Gmail in order to make a copy because some people the copy's working for them. Okay. Can I go on or should I pause a moment to get everybody caught up with that part?
Why don't we pause for 1 second? I'm gonna try to open it up as well. So the way it looks like let me just see.
Do you want me to stop sharing?
No, you can keep sharing. Let me just double check real quick. I had a window. I looked up zebra cakes and I have a window of zebra cakes open, so I had to just get rid of that. Yeah, it just says so if you're not able to make a copy, it's because there is heavy traffic on the file. So give it a few minutes. There's like way too many people accessing the Google Doc. So it just tells you, like right now I have a pop-up that says due to heavy traffic on this file, some features may be unavailable. So that could be making a copy. Give it like a few minutes and you'll be able to make a copy, I promise.
Great.
But keep going, keep going.
Awesome. Okay. And so then after that, what you're going to do is you're going to add in like what I call your expert bio. So if you have a bio on your website, just go copy it and paste it here. And also we like to add in your quesadilla of awesome. So I'll say like, here's a little more about me and I'll list that there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through this whole section and then we'll take a little bit of a pause for you guys to fill this out, but I'm going to go through this whole section first.
Okay.
Cool.
Love it.
Okay.
Let's do this.
Then we're going to load in as a human being. You're going to put your product details here. So all of your product details will go underneath here. Those of you, like, again, I said, we have a really detailed system on how to, like, what kind of details to include. But today I just want to keep this quick. So product details, just list out what your products are. Now, if you sell lots of e-commerce products, you don't need to put every single thing in here. You can say supplements ranging from this to this. Here's some information about it. So just list your product details. Then we're going to move into this ideal client prep work. So this one, I really did give you all the deeper information. So you're going to start with actual human beings. Pick 1 to 3 people who you'd love to sell your products to. Fill in the sheet below, and you're going to use this to create your ideal client avatar. If you can't think of these people, that should be your number 1 goal for this month. So I'm going to explain the reason that you'd want 1 to 3 people and how you could maybe just make 3 people up. So I'm actually, my amazing friend and client, Will Reynolds, just joined the room. I saw you come in, Will, and I love you so much. So I'm going to use Will as an example. So Will is a composer. He wrote an amazing musical called The Violet Hour. And he has several different people that he would want to connect with this system, with his brand. First of all, there's people that he may want to connect with who would actually want to come buy the music from the show. People who are like musical theater fans, who want to buy the music, who want to buy videos, things like that. So he would create a person, think of a human being that he knows would want to buy the music. That would be name number 1. Then he's going to copy that whole section. So we have all of these questions in here. And again, this may take a little more time. At this point, you may already be feeling overwhelmed. I'm going to give you an AI way to do this really quickly in just a moment. Okay, but the real juicy, deep way to do it would be to fill out all these questions. So
now the important part is once you fill this all out, you're going to feed this information to the AI tools you're using. Is that the way you're looking
correct.
at it? Okay. So this is a one-time thing that you mapped this out.
One time.
Okay, cool.
One time. And I'm going to give you a shortcut for today that'll give you like the quick start version of it. So
Okay.
just know this
Awesome.
is like, I'm giving you the overview and then I'm going to show you what to do. So don't feel like you got to do all this right this second. Okay. So he's going to list out all of the attributes of that person. So that would be the first type of client. The second type of client, so I only put name number 1 in here, but you can copy it and put name number 2 and do the same thing again. The second type of client would be, so Will also teaches musical theater performers. So he'd put another a full other client that is someone who may want to take singing lessons or audition coaching sessions from him. Okay, so he's going to fill that out for that type of client. The third person that he may want to connect with would be someone who would want to be a producer of his show. So we just did this awesome campaign. Well, I know you didn't think that I'd be like shouting you out this way. We did this awesome campaign called for his show called The Violet Hour, where people could actually fund the show, and they would get they would get naming rights on this documentary that they created. The person who's going to want to fund the show is a totally different type of ideal client from someone who may want to buy singing lessons from him. And they're both going to be following his social media accounts. So it's super helpful for us to tell AI, hey, some of our people are producers, some of our people are students, and some of our people are musical theater lovers. By getting all of this information in here, when we get to the content creation step tomorrow, it's going to be so juicy and easy and magical because we'll have this information identified. Cool.
Got
Paulson, do
it.
you want me
I'm
to go
following.
through these questions, or can I just leave this here?
No, I think it's up to you, but I don't I think we're following. So you need
Okay,
to basically list out the primary avatars as well as the secondary avatars that's relevant to your offer.
correct. And in this workshop right now, we're not like diving deep into creating your offer. Like that's a whole nother thing we could help you with, but I'm assuming that you already know what you're selling. So if you don't know what you're selling,
Yes.
then you should sign up for the agency level and you should sell high level.
Yeah, jump into our 5-day challenge if you're struggling to even have an offer or go to local markets. Our 5-day challenge is literally a week long, and we teach you literally how to get to the market with the basic offer that we create for you. So, anyways,
Okay. So
let's
the
keep
only
going.
thing that's really different from like this is awesome. And there's one thing that you may be like, what the heck is she talking about? Which we talked about earlier. In addition to struggles and pain points, what we do is we feature the tickle points of your ideal client as well. Okay. So if you don't know what that is, AI is going to help us answer these questions. So I got you. Okay, then what we're going to move into is what I call the avatar questions. Now, I got this list from high level community member Jonathan Peck. Jonathan is amazing. Jonathan did a post inside the Jasper group, which was a really good awareness playground, which we'll be talking more about tomorrow. Actually, it was a Jonathan volunteered to do this session with somebody inside the Jasper group. She did a post inside the Jasper group shouting him out and said, if you want to talk to Jonathan, he will help you. He is amazing. It was such an awesome example of how these awareness playgrounds really work in a simple, simple post. He had hundreds of comments on this. I reached out, we got on a call. And one of the things that he shared with me was this huge list. I asked him if I could share this today, and he said, I can. So this
Awesome. Shout out,
humongous,
Jonathan.
yes, thank you, Jonathan. This humongous list of questions. I'm not going to go through it. Just trust me. When you give AI this list, you don't actually have to answer these. AI is going to answer them for you. And it's going to season this chat so that we get so much goodness before we create our brand voice guide. Magic gold. You are so glad you came to this training today. Like, seriously amazing.
That's
Okay.
insane. Yeah,
It's
that's a
insane.
lot. That's a lot of questions for one
It's so
avatar.
awesome. Okay, so what we're going to do is I have created a quick start for this. So what I want to do is we are going to, if you have a website, I'm going to show you that all you actually have to do is use your website to get all those questions answered. So before we go into this next section, I'm actually going to go back up to the top and I'm going to grab these questions from up here. This is not in the document. I'm giving you a little shortcut so we can get going quickly. I'm going back up to the company details. I'm going to copy these questions, company name, owner name, all of that. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to say, this prompt is not written in there. You're actually going to have to type, but this is so you don't have to take the time to answer all those questions. If you already answered them, great. If not, this is your quick start. So over here, you're going to say, act like a high level. I always say high level, but I don't think of high level when I say it. High level marketer and sales expert. Can you see this?
Yep, yep.
Okay. Please. Oh, shoot. I'm in the wrong type of chat. Dang it. Hold on. I'm in one of my GPTs, which I did not mean to be in. This feature is something that works with GPT-4. So if you're using the free version of ChatGPT, you may actually need to answer those questions. So go answer those questions. But here, if you're using the paid version, it should be able to read your website. If it doesn't, I'll give you a little trick to get it to read your website. So act like a high-level marketer and sales expert. Please read this website and answer the following questions.
Oh.
And then I'm going to do HTTPS, and then I'm going to put my actual website here, the prepared performer. Now, I don't know if I have how many years in business on here, but I'm going to paste that. Oops, sorry. I'm going to paste those questions then. I'm using a Chrome extension called Clipboard History Pro that I'm obsessed with.
That's pretty
Okay,
cool.
watch. Again, it's better if you actually do this as a human, but I like giving you shortcuts so we can go through this quickly together. Dope. Company name, the prepared performer. Owner name, Molly. That's funny, it didn't put my last name. Years in business, I can easily answer that one. Niche, this company focuses on business consulting and coaching, particularly for those looking to grow their business through online platforms without relying on paid ads or complicated funnels. Solutions they provide. They offer mastermind programs and AI-focused content creation system, private coaching to help business owners achieve consistent, significant financial growth. Website, value statement. This might involve helping clients to grow. Now, value statement, I didn't give it the actual template there, but don't worry, we're going to come back to that later. This might involve helping clients to grow, impact their business positively without resonating to high pressure sales tactics using methods that focus on fun and innovation. That's okay, right? And then differentiation. The company establishes a unique approach that combines enjoyment, profit, steering clear of traditional guru marketing or high pressure sales tactics, and offering a supportive community for business owners. Dope.
That is pretty cool. That is so cool. Like so how long have your websites been up? Like, does it have to be like be there for a while for it to
Oh,
populate
no, no,
like
no, no,
this
no.
or
It's just reading. It's literally going to the website and just reading what you have. So if you
gotcha.
do this and it doesn't work, it's because your website information stinks.
What if I only have a little funnel and it's not a lot of written
Great. So,
copy in
yeah.
there?
So if you don't have a full website and you only have like a link tree or something, then know that this is your opportunity to take some time tonight and go through and answer these questions.
Cool. Awesome.
Cool. Are you good if we go on?
Yep. Let's
Okay.
keep going. Let's pick
Great.
up pace on this.
Okay.
We're
Awesome.
yeah,
We're good.
cool.
Okay. Great. So now what we're going to do is so that's enough information, right? Now we're going to move into the AI brand messaging prompt quick start. You don't need to fill out the information about your ideal client. We're going to have AI actually do that for you today. But if you've already got a little bit of your information there, you're going to be able to move on. Okay. And again, come back and do this again. Today, we're learning the choreography of all of this so that you can do this again in the future. It's going to get easier and easier as we move into this. Just know that today is really to get the foundations in place. So all you're going to do is you're going to come down here, grab the text in yellow. Everything in yellow is a prompt. You're going to scroll through this. You can see, oh, whoops, I'm going to go to the one that's a little bit bigger. So all the way down at the bottom, underneath the AI avatar questions, and you're going to paste this into the chat. Acts like an experienced marketer and brand messaging expert with a deep knowledge of human desires and what causes them to make purchasing decisions. I'd like to take a deep dive into creating my ideal client avatar and brand messaging. We'll be using current clients and product information to create a client avatar that we refer to as our starting point when creating content, marketing materials, and products in the future. We will base this deep dive on our brand messaging on the following information. Here is my company, product, and ideal client details. So for right now, we're not going to list out all of that information because we don't have enough time, but you'll come back. You can do this again and make it even more specific. And you can do this just in the regular version of ChatGPT. This is not actually seasoned yet. We are creating the custom instructions for you in here. Cool? Okay.
Got it.
So
Got
if
it.
you've already done this part, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to paste this. Now, where it says enter your details, if you don't have them completed, try loading your website. So I'm going to delete that part because I already put my company details up above, right?
Okay.
I have an example of what it looks like when you fill all that out. Do you want me to show that actually, Paulson, or should I keep going?
I think you should keep going.
Okay, great. So I'm
Yeah.
just going to delete that for right now. And then notice it says at the end, is this enough information for us to begin? If it is not enough information, that means you need to go back and do a little more homework. Okay, now it's saying to begin creating your ideal client avatar and brand messaging. The information you provided is good. However, to delve deeper and create more accurate, effective client avatar, we'll need more detailed information about your current clients and products. Here are some key aspects to consider. So this is where, again, if you have more information, you could feed that in. We're not going to worry about it right now. Yours is going to give a different response. It may say, yes, we're good to go. We're just going to keep going for today and know that you can come back and fill that in. Okay.
Got it.
So what we're going to do is we're going to say, please create a fictional idea avatar based on my company name. You can paste your company name in there and the information I've given you about my ideal clients. So since we haven't filled out that whole section, what we're going to do is we're going to copy this and we're going to come over here. We're going to paste this in here. Once you've filled that out, it'll be a little bit better even. But for right now, we're going to say, based on the information I've given you about my ideal clients, we're going to change that to, based on the information I've given you, I'd like this person to be, and then list out what type of a niche you would like to start with. So if I was doing this for Will, I would say, I'd like this person to be in their 20s, auditioning for musical theater, an aspiring musical theater performer in their 20s, just like a basic demographic. So I'm going to say, I'd like this person to be a marketing agency owner in their, I'm giving like very little information just so we can go quicker, in their 30s with 2 kids. Okay. Minimal information, and watch what's going to happen. Then we're going to continue on, write it like this, right? It's got just that little bit of information right there.
Alex, I know
Alex
him.
Johnson is 34 years old, married with 2 children, ages 5 and 7, enjoys reading marketing books, podcasts on entrepreneurship, and spending weekends with the family. Their personality is ambitious, detail-oriented, values work-life balance. Owner of a small mid-sized agency, has 10 employees, focuses on digital marketing strategies, believes in continuous learning and development and marketing trends. Aspirational goals to scale their agency to a national level. Desire to win industry awards and recognition. Aim to create work environment that supports parents. Is
This
this
is pretty
cool?
cool. That is pretty cool. Can you do me a quick favor, Molly? Can you right click or go make this screen a little bit bigger? It's
Yes,
the
yes, yes.
letters
So if I
are
go to view, I know how to do this
I
one.
think yeah, I think you can yeah, there it is. Yeah. A little
I
bit
got it.
more. A little bit more. That works. Yeah,
One more
125.
maybe?
I think
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's good. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Then you can see we've got struggles and pain points, balancing time between business growth and family, difficulty in staying updated with the latest marketing trends while managing the agency, challenges in creating innovative campaigns that stand out, tickle points, industry inside jokes, especially related to marketing cliches. That's good. Lighthearted, relatable content about balancing work and family life, humorous anecdotes about quirks of running a marketing agency. Okay, now remember, the reason that we're doing this is to feed this chat. So this chat is fully seasoned, and we're going to create a brand document after this. Are we good to go on, Paulson?
We are good to go. It sounds like it's describing someone I know.
It totally, I agree. Okay, then we're going to go on. And remember, again, I didn't even take the time to fill out my actual human stuff. So it's like,
True.
that's how good this is. Okay, great. Now please create 2 new fictional ideal client avatars. Now, the reason that I do one first is because I always take a moment to review and judge after each of these. So I'm like going back and editing. So please, that one looks good to me though. I don't need to change anything. Please create 2 new avatars, and I'm going to put them in 2 new niches. So I'm going to go down here. Again, if we were using Will as the example, he would do the next 2 niches would be like a business owner who wants to give back to the arts. That would be like the producer type person, and then a musical theater lover, right? For me, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to say that first one was the marketing agency. I'm just pasting that in. Again, I'm so grateful I have this with my one hand, right? So, it's like, it's true. And I also just know, like, speaking of accessibility and all of that, I love how AI, like, I make jokes about me being in this cast, right? But I know, like, we have members in our community who have cerebral palsy. We have members in our community who have all different kinds of, like, I have dyslexia. This stuff helps so much to make things easier. It's amazing. Okay. So, one is, what kind of niche would I go here? So let's say I'm going to say, business coach who helps speakers and authors. And then the other one is, whoops, an expert with, oh my gosh, I can't spell, with loads of experience in their field, who wants to be known as a thought leader. And then again, it's like, write it like this. Now, I didn't put very much information. It's just going to make it up.
So what you're doing is feeding the chat avatar 1, 2, and 3 in 3 different, it basically just the information we have.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so
Got
we
it.
can see now, and again, I'm going to copy and paste this information somewhere else, but for right now, the goal is that we're feeding this into the chat and it's creating it itself. So avatar 1, business coach for speakers and authors. Samantha Reed, she's 40 years old, enjoys public speaking, writing, and mentoring, passionate about personal development and storytelling. Now, I would say this is not really very personal. So one little edit that I would make to this is I'm going to come back and say, can you give me some more in her personal attributes? Because this is really focused on what she's doing as a business owner. I didn't say she's a mom, blah, 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 blah. All of this is good, right? The personal ones here. Okay, these are also very businessy. So I'm going to say, this is where I dance with the AI. I'm going to say, that's a great start. Please add more personal details.
Attribute.
What?
I thought you were going to say attributes.
Yeah, it was more personal
Yeah.
details into the personal attributes. Can't spell again. I'd love to know how this is working for all of you.
Yeah.
And
This is
again, if you're not able to do this live with us, know that you're going to get access to this and you can play with it tonight before we start tomorrow.
wait, all of a sudden she does hiking and yoga now. Samantha
Hiking
does
and
hiking and
yoga. I
yoga.
like
We did
it.
not know that about her.
Look at this. This guy plays piano or Samantha also, or Dr. Michael plays piano and finds music therapeutic. That's perfect.
I was gonna say we all of a sudden got a doctorate degree out of nowhere.
I like it. And you know
That's pretty
what? I
cool.
purposely, sometimes I'll say a medical professional because Dr. E is one of my most favorite clients, but I didn't say that and it picked up on it, which is cool.
That is
Okay.
cool.
If this is so good, give me like a hand clap on the Zoom screen because I want to make sure you guys are loving this. If it's so cool.
Give us a one in the chat. Give us a one in the chat
Give us
if
a one in the
this.
chat.
Yep.
Okay.
So
Now,
you have 3 avatars built out essentially and fed into the ChatGPT system.
yep. And now all we're going to do is we're going to copy and paste this little prompt and we're going to paste those avatar questions from above. I didn't put all the avatar questions right here because I thought it would take up too much space. So what you're
Okay.
going to do is you're going to paste this in here. And then we're going to go back to the very top of the document. If you expand this little menu over here on the side, the outline, not menu, sorry, you'll go to avatar questions. And literally, you can tweak these as you want later, but for right now, we're going to do this. Now, we may have to make a little adjustment to this because this morning when I did it, my AI was lazy and said, that's a very extensive request. Let me shorten that for you. I was
I
like,
don't got time for
no,
you.
fool. I want to do all of this. And so I'm going to say detailed answers to, and I'm just going to make this.
I think it's funny how we get upset with AI. Like,
I know.
like, no, do the work we're requiring you to
Exactly.
do.
So detailed answers to the questions below in the first person present tense. And I'm going to add to this, and I'll add this into the document as well, but I didn't ever have this error until this morning. I'm going to say, actually, you know what? Let's make one little adjustment. Let's just do name 1 first, and then we'll do it again for name 2, and then we'll do it again for name 3, because I don't want it to get overwhelmed.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so I'm going to hit return and then watch.
So 50 questions, 50 questions. Hopefully it's not overwhelming her.
Look at this. My name is Samantha Reed. I'm 40 years old. I'm a female. I live in suburban area in California. My job title is business coach, specializing in speakers and authors. My household income is approximately 150 per year, K per year. I live
Wow.
with my husband and 2 teenage children. I'm married. I have a master's degree in business administration. Like Jonathan Peck, props to you.
This is pretty crazy.
Is that
So
so good?
what is the benefit of doing something like
Okay,
this?
so what's going to happen is we are giving this all of this juicy information, which is like great, first of all, for us as human beings to read, so that when we start going out into the world, we can speak more like we can be, I like to say, more like Mr. Rogers. We're speaking to one human being and we can think of that person on the other side.
Okay.
That's what matters as like a human. As an AI strategy and creating all the content that we're going to create, at the end of going through all of this, we're going to take this chat and we're going to distill all of that information into very powerful, potent potions. So if we
Got
went
it.
straight into the simplified version, we'd get something that was watered down. But because we're starting, we're like getting all of the details out there. Then we're going to simplify it into these like very juicy, like we're making espresso basically.
Gotcha. Makes sense. And now we're gonna automate all of that, right? Once we have the
Yes,
right
and then
information.
we're gonna automate everything.
Hmm.
So tomorrow we're gonna be using all of this to create an entire month of content based on this information.
Got it.
Okay, then I'm gonna come down here and I'm gonna say, great. Please repeat for Michael.
I think you meant
Well,
Jonathan, right?
so I actually, when I said name 1, it picked name 2. Did you notice that? So
Yeah,
it skipped Jonathan.
Samantha. Yeah. So it's
We need
Jonathan.
Jonathan. So I'm going to do Michael first, and then I'll do Jonathan, who was actually our first person at the end.
Wait, who's Michael? Oh, Dr.
Dr.
Michael?
Michael
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
was our doctor.
So that's insane. I'm like, wait, what?
Okay. I live in a metropolitan area on the East Coast. I'm a consultant researcher, like amazing, right?
Global industry standards. Man,
Okay. Okay. I love it.
using
Okay.
big words, using big words to explain Dr.
I know
Michael.
because he's so fancy, but that's in his voice, right? So he's like way fancier than me.
He's a
Okay.
think tank. Look at that. He's a think tank. It's number 27. That's crazy.
Oh my gosh. I'd establish a global think tank for if I couldn't fail, I'd establish. Okay. Awesome. Then we're going to go back after this. I'm like reading all of this. And don't worry, we're going to get really clear about my voice in just a second. So right now, this is not really pulling on my individual voice. That's going to come up in a moment. So now I'm going to say, amazing. Please complete for Jonathan. That was his name, right?
I believe
I'm going to go
so.
back and look.
Or was it John? No, it was Jonathan.
Yeah, my husband's name is John, so I feel like I would have remembered that. Let's see.
Ow.
Alex Johnson. Alex. Oh my gosh. Johnson is
Oh,
where
we
we.
were talking about Jonathan Peck, your friend.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, please complete for Alex.
Okay, cool.
You could create B2B avatars instead. Totally. So that's like technically some of these are business. Like the thing is, when it comes to B2B and B2C, I see this question in the chat. There is a human behind the B. So I wouldn't create this as like, for example, the company Street True Revival, they are a part of a bigger company, the company I mentioned that partners with Taylor Guitar. They're a part of a bigger company called West Coast Arborists that trims almost all of the trees in the state of California. There is a human being behind that company who is actually my dad. We do social media for part of my dad's company. But I know that my dad is actually, even though he's running this company that trims trees for the whole state of California, he's a human being who is behind that company. And so if I don't have him or maybe his marketing director Victor as like identified as humans, when I go in to speak to them, I'm missing the mark, right? I'm not attracting the whole company. I'm attracting the people who work at the company.
Good point. Yeah, definitely. I think that's one of the biggest things people miss on the B2B approaches. They don't know the human behind the businesses.
And it's gonna help us, and it's such a huge way. So that may be like the best nugget so far from today. And I would love to know if you guys are trying this already. And again, I know I'm going kind of fast through this right now. If you're trying it right now, let us know in the chat how it's working for you, because I would love to know if this is working for you. Okay. Great. Now we're through
All
these.
three. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, great. I love it. Amazing. I love the chat. Okay, so now this is the quick start. So those of you that are in our programs, you'll notice I've condensed this. If you get even more details in here, it's going to be even better, but I made this quick start version for you. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to this next section, and we are going to say, now we're going to rewrite this value statement. So thank you. Sorry, that's bold. I'll change that so it's clean. Okay. Thank you. Now write a clear positioning statement following this. Oh, wait. Just kidding. I skipped this one. Okay. Now we're going to take all that information and we're going to write an in-depth avatar narrative based on all of those people in first person present tense. So again, to your question earlier, Paulson, like, why are we getting all of this information in here? Because now as we simplify this, it'll be much more potent than if we just said to create this in the beginning. It has way more to pull from.
Got it. Samantha Reed. Now it's a last name. Wow. Didn't provide a last name yet.
I think she did. I think she had a last name. I'm Samantha Reed, a business coach for speakers and authors. I'm in my element when I'm guiding others to find their voice. I'm 40, balancing my professional aspirations with my personal life, including my 2 teenage children. I dream of being a top coach and publishing my own book. My days are filled with workshops and mentoring sessions, but I make time for hiking, yoga, and family. I'm always searching for innovative ways to stand out in the coaching industry, which can be quite challenging. My vision is to create a global network of empowered speakers and authors. So I'm going to read this as a human. If there's anything that stands out that I'm like, ooh, that's actually, I want to change one thing, I'm going to tell it. So I'm going to say, this is great. Please rewrite Samantha's and say she's published 10 books already. Because if she's helping people to publish books, I don't want her to dream of publishing her own book. Right? So you're going to come through and make little adjustments like that. This doesn't work if you just give it all over to the AI. You have to edit and judge, be a human being. I'm only going to edit and judge Samantha's because of my hand. So, great. Please rewrite Samantha's, and I spelled that wrong, and say she has written, I'm going to say 5 best-selling books. Okay, great.
Oh yeah, see they changed the second.
I've already authored 5 best-selling books, which has significantly bolstered my reputation in the industry. Right?
Cool.
I love it so much. Okay, we good to go on?
Yep.
Okay, now that we know all of that information, we're going to come back and write a new value statement. Again, I know I'm going quickly, so you guys will have access to the recording. Okay, now I'm going to paste this. That value statement is the same one that we did earlier. And I'm going to try this and just see what happens. I may need to fill in these blanks here because I just realized I don't have the blanks filled in, but we'll see what happens. It worked really well when I did it earlier. I help ambitious professionals like Samantha Reed, Dr. Michael Harris, and Alex Johnson to elevate their careers.
That's for you.
And businesses to new heights so they can achieve notable success without sacrificing their personal values and work-life balance. We do this using our personalized and innovative coaching method tailored specifically to each individual's unique goals and challenges. This approach ensures that, okay, so obviously we don't want it to actually mention them. So I'm going to come in again and I'm going to say, please don't use their names. use terms that identify, again, spelling mistakes don't matter, their niche. Also, I'm going to give it my framework because I didn't give it very much information. So I'm going to say my framework or my method, right? My method is called AI-ified social selling, TM. So again, what you put in is what you're going to get back. I help business coaches, industry experts, and marketing agency owners to amplify their impact and market presence so they can become recognized leaders in their fields without compromising their integrity or personal life balance. We do this using our AI-ified social selling method, a cutting-edge approach that combines AI-driven strategies with authentic social engagement, tailored specifically to each professional's unique aspirations and challenges. This ensures not just professional growth, but also harmonious integration with their personal values and lifestyle. Okay, so that feels a little fancy to me. I would actually simplify that a little bit more, but this is okay just for us where we're at in here. I'm going to show you how we're going to make this actually in my voice. Are we good to go on?
Yes, we are. Can I get a one in the chat if you're following so far, or if we need to slow down? Like,
Yeah, if we need to slow down and take any questions. Again, I
yeah,
warned you that eventually we were going to be like on fire.
I know. Give us a one in the chat if you're following. Give me a two in the chat if you want us to revisit or review any small quick items real quick. It's not a Q&A, but I just want to just make sure we
And
got a lot of ones so far. Okay, so let's keep going.
okay, awesome. And Karina said, it's funny how you use please in your sentences to ChatGPT. So cute. So this is actually super intentional. And I've noticed recently that I've pulled back on my please and thank yous. And then it's not as enjoyable. So I've had to make sure that I continue to talk to this like I would talk to a human. One time I was using AI to create a sales calculator for my website. It actually wrote the code. And I said, this is great. Could you please give it a black background with white text? And ChatGPT wrote back to me and said, ooh, a black background with white text screams sophistication. And then it said, it's like putting your calculator in a tuxedo. And my
It starts
husband,
developing its own little
it's
personalities,
so
huh?
good. And that's because I had fed that with my personality. So it like gives it back to me. So it's awesome.
Can you review? You just said it's so good, and I'm looking at your t-shirt. It says so good. What is so good? Just real quick.
It's so good. Everything that we're doing today is so good.
Is that a brand that you've
It
built?
is.
Like, okay, got it.
It's a professional
Got it,
membership.
got it.
So,
I had an idea. I was like,
and
you say so good
when
all
I
the time.
speak sometimes, I'll be like, okay, so repeat after me. So good. And then I'll get everyone to like say it with me. I'll wear a different one tomorrow that will be very intentional. So, yeah.
Okay,
So
cool.
if you think this is so good, give me a so good in the chat.
Okay, cool.
I
There's a
love it.
lot of ones. There's one person that said slow down a little bit. I missed the last prompt edit, but keep going. Okay,
Okay,
cool.
cool. Great.
So
So,
far, what we've done is put together base level information about the business, put together base level information about three avatars that that business serves. Then we've asked it to create a value statement off of the characteristics of those people. And now we're moving into creating, I guess, a brand voice of some kind.
yes.
All
So what
right.
we're going to do right now is, and we're going to play with this. I may actually, you know what, as I'm saying this out loud, I think I'm going to maybe reverse these two because
Okay.
um let's actually reverse these two. So if you already copied this, we're going to do the brand voice analysis first before we actually do the
Okay.
full thing. I'm going
Okay.
to swap
Now, what
this.
do you mean by a brand voice? What is that
I'm
when
going to
with
show you.
respect to AI?
Watch
Is it an actual
this.
voice or is it a tone of writing?
So it's a tone. That's a really good question. It's a tone of writing.
Okay.
And what the biggest thing that I have seen that happens with AI is that it starts to get very hyperbolic, especially if you are saying, like, let's write social media posts. Everything will become game changing. Everything will be skyrocketing. Everything will be a treasure trove of information, and there will be a million emojis. If you don't actually write like that, then it's really difficult to use AI to write your actual content like we're going to be doing tomorrow. So what we want to do is we actually want to explain the exact tone that we are using which has been something that for the most part I have seen has been very difficult for most people. And so what we're going to do next in these next two pieces is we're going to be compiling all of that past information. And this is where your quesadilla of awesome can be really helpful. Again, I didn't load the quesadilla of awesome in today because or my expert bio. I didn't do any of that because I wanted to do the super streamlined, efficient version. I'm actually going to do that right now just to show you like when you're ready to fully do this, what happens. So I'm going to do two things right now. We are going to, and if you have already created content, this is going to be really easy for you. If you have not created content, I would suggest that you create some things on your own as an actual human being because it's going to be even better. So this next step here is loading your past writing examples. And this section may take you a little bit of time. I have documented, so watch this. If I go to this document, shoot, I only have this 2024 one, but I have one that is 2022 as well. I've got, this is like our new one, but let me find the other one. I just want to show you like for real that I'm like serious about this. Okay. This is all of my email copy in a Google Doc, starting with 2023, going all the way back to 2018.
Sheesh.
758 pages. I'm not joking. Like, take the time to actually assess what you've created before if you want something to expect, if you're expecting for something to write in your voice, you actually have to have a voice. And if you're mad about the way that it's writing, then you've got to be able to clearly explain it. Just like if you were hiring a copywriter.
Yeah, I have a question for you. Does it have to
Yeah.
be written content? Like I do a lot of podcasting for hours and lives. Is there a way for me to load up like a lot of my
Yes.
episodes or lives that I do?
Yes. So watch what I'm going to show you here. So we have taken,
Because I have hours of videos
yeah,
on the World Wide Web, but not even a
totally.
single blog.
So
Yeah.
what I've actually done, and I'm going to give you two, because if anybody else, is there anybody else who's done a lot of video or podcasts and would love to know how to do that as well? So I'm actually going to go to, I have, thank you. Guys, my husband brought me tea because he's so amazing. What I've actually done is, and you may need to hire a VA or a team member to do this for you, but what we've actually done, our big, like the biggest point that I can make when it comes to creating video content, and like we're going to talk more about this tomorrow, but weekly value-based content, whether it's a podcast, a video, a blog post, is that you recognize you are building a library of content. So watch this. I'm going to screen share in just a second. This is my library of content from 2022. I have this from 2018 going forward. So every week when I would do my video, I would save the date, the time, the title, description, and then my team can't find the blogs. I don't know why, but we've got all of this stuff documented in here and exactly how we've repurposed it as well. So it's
That's pretty
all
cool.
in this document. And I slowed down on my content creation in 2022 a little bit, but you can see I've got 2021. All of these videos are listed in here, every single one.
That's amazing. So how do you give the video to
I'm going to show
Mr.
you that.
Chat? Yeah.
Watch this.
Okay,
So
cool.
for this next section here, what we're doing is we're going to say, here are examples of my writing from the past. Please identify my brand voice. Be sure to highlight key indicators like brand personality, tone, language, style, themes, and messages so I can create a guide for you to emulate my voice. So I'm going to copy this. And then in here, I don't know if I'm going to be able to turn a plugin. Oh, okay. So what I just did, notice this. So I switched to a different chat. When I'm using ChatGPT, do you see this plugin thing right here?
Mm-hmm.
I can actually use, This is weird. Oh, I couldn't see it. Sorry. See where it says no plugins installed? There's a plugin called VoxScript. I can go to my YouTube channel. I'm going to pull this up. You're going to see my history. All the high-level videos I've been watching. So I can go into my videos here, and I'm going to go to watch. I'm going to pull, let's say, I want to get a longer video. I have one that I did with Metricool. Let me see. We'll just use this one. Oh, actually. So if you have here, I'm going to do this. You have to let the ad go by the way, because I realized yesterday I accidentally just shared the link for an ad instead of sharing the actual video. So let the ad pass. If you have a webinar that you've done, that's really great. And I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just picking this for right now. Oh, you know what? May not be the best example, but you'll see exactly how it works. So in here, I'm going to use this link and I'm going to go to that prompt that I gave you. And I'm going to say, please identify my brand voice from this video.
Got it.
It then is going to scroll into VoxScript. This is with the paid version of ChatGPT. If you're not using the paid version of ChatGPT, you can't use plugins like this. So you would just need to download the transcript and create a big Google Doc like I did.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Your brand is educational, innovative, and approachable. You focus on providing practical solutions and guidance, particularly in leveraging AI tools for content creation. This positions your brand as helpful and knowledgeable. Tone. The tone of video is friendly, encouraging, enthusiastic. Does that seem right?
Yeah,
You maintain a
I
positive, upbeat
definitely agree.
demeanor. What?
I definitely agree on the enthusiasm for sure.
I mean, your language style is clear, concise, and instructional. Simple yet effective.
All right. So how does this apply to the automations that we're going to create inside high level later? Like for
Okay.
the
Because in the automations that we're creating in high level, I have given you Mad Lib style templates, which you then can AI-ify with your brand voice.
Okay. So help me understand what that means. I'm not techie.
So we're going to take the automations. You're going to be able to take them and make and rewrite them in your brand tone, your
Gotcha.
brand voice.
So
Also, this is the other really, 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 really important piece. When we put all the automations into place, none of it matters if you don't actually get traffic there. So this is going to help you tomorrow when we create a month of content. That content can be scheduled inside of high level, and then it's going to help bring people into your pop-up group.
Oh, wow. Okay. So basically, the emails that we write, the text messages, the voice drops, all those things that are attached to the launch of a Facebook group or whatever, it needs to have a tonality. It needs to have a certain data to attack an avatar, essentially.
And like, yes, and even more important than the emails and the text messages is the content that we create to send people to the emails and the text messages. Because if you remember earlier when I said what you do in your video is not as important as what you do around your video, what you do in your automations, yes, it's important, but if you don't get anybody there, who cares that you have automations?
Got it. Got it.
Right?
I'm following. Yep.
Okay. Amazing. So you can do this, and we're almost at the end of this prompt, and then we'll move into some Q&A stuff here.
Okay.
So you can do all of this, right? Either by sharing a video like I just did, or you can grab past examples of your writing. So I have this email document. I also have another huge spreadsheet that has all of my top posts from 2018 until now. So I can load that spreadsheet in here and say, read this and analyze it this way. So again, I'm going to go back into my main chat and I'm going to grab this post. We're going to go back into that chat that we're seasoning, right? I could, if you wanted to do this with a video like Paulson had asked about, you could pull this out and then copy and paste this into the seasoned chat, but I'm going to come back to this seasoned chat here. This is that whole big long one that we were using. And I'm going to go like this. Watch what I'm going to do here. Here are examples from my writing from the past. Please identify my brand voice. I'm going to go to this document of my past emails. Okay. Crazy town. I'm going to use all of the data, everything. I'm going to scroll down. I know that there's like a limit on how many I can include here. So you may just want to pick like your top 10 emails or something. I'm not worrying about that right now. I'm just going to get as much as I can. So I'm going to grab like 25 pages. If it gives me an error, I'll grab less.
So Molly, if I'm someone that's just starting out and don't have any content, including emails, videos, nothing, like
Yeah.
what do I do?
Okay, I'm going to show you that after this. So let me
Okay,
just paste in
cool.
to show you what this can be, and then I'll give you an example. And actually, I'll add that into the document. I cannot believe it would accept that much text.
Dude, it's insane.
Isn't that so cool?
That is so cool.
Okay, if you have not written your own content in the past, I'm actually going to open up a brand new chat and I'm going to show you how to create a brand voice that you would love. If you have written content in the past, but you aren't happy with your content from the past, I'm also going to show you how to create a brand voice that you would love. So we're going to open up this new chat. And again, I'm like, even though I've been doing this for such a long time, I'm always so amazed. It's
Can
so
I get a temperature check in the room actually? Give us a one in the Facebook streaming chat if you do have content of some kind, whether it's video, emails, podcasts, audios. If there's any content out there, give us one in the chat. If you're someone who doesn't have any content, give us a two in the chat. Because some people are seasoned, some people have done multiple businesses in the world of marketing or online stuff. So even if you pivot into a new offer, sometimes you can leverage old stuff. But I just
and
want
I
to make
really love
sure.
also shout out to Heather. What Heather said is that she's changing her brand voice. So she appreciates this. This is also really important. If I went back to my brand voice from 2016, when I was first switching into the world of business, y'all, if you go on my YouTube and you look at those old videos, you think I have energy now. I was scary with how much like over the top positivity I had. I've had to pull back a little bit since then.
Well,
So that's a really good point.
I think the key is like I've met you in person, we've hung out, like you're like this in person and this is your personality. So like and I have my way of doing things and that's just my personality. If you're starting out, the biggest advice I would give you is just be you for who you are and it's okay to repel off the folks that are not true followers of you. Like that's just
And
totally fine.
And that goes back to the whole thing about the quesadilla of awesome. If you don't take the time to figure that stuff out, it's really hard to create a message that resonates with someone. So know
Absolutely.
that it's an ever evolving process as well.
Absolutely. Stay true to yourself so you can have longevity in building content. Otherwise, you'll burn out and you're not going to enjoy it.
Totally.
Yep. All
Okay.
right, let's keep going.
So we're going to go here. What we're going to say is we're going to start a new chat, right? So I'm going to click up here on this chat and I'm going to say,
And this is for someone who
oh,
doesn't have
this is for
any
someone who doesn't
content,
have any content.
anything online. Okay.
So we're going to copy this. Please identify my brand voice, right? Okay. And I'm going to go into ChatGPT and I'm going to say, I'm also, just because of my hand being the way that it is, I'm going to go back up to the very top and I'm going to grab this. I'm going to say, oh, sorry. I'm going to go back to when we first started the prompts. Oh my gosh, I clicked the wrong thing. Okay. I'm going to grab this, act like an experienced marketer and brand messaging expert. I'm just going to grab this top part right here. Okay. Because it's going to tell it how to behave. So I'm going to say, act like an experienced marketer and brand messaging expert with a deep knowledge of human desires and what causes them to make purchasing decisions. I would like to create a brand voice. So I'm going to say, please not identify, please create a brand voice. Be sure to include key identifier indicators like this. And then I'm going to say, watch this, base this on the writing style of, you can pick who you want to sound like. So I'm going to say Brene Brown. Actually, I like Brene Brown's writing, but I don't think her tone is really similar to mine. Let's say like Shailene Johnson, right? She's kind of like over the top. She's like to the point. So I mean, and she has loads of content on the internet. Shailene Johnson. I'm gonna say mixed with Brene Brown. Let's do that. So we've got like a little more. Not that Shailene's not
I was gonna
empathetic,
say
because
I
she is.
like Brene Brown's TED Talk. I watched it like 3 times.
She's amazing. So I'm gonna do it mixed Shailene Johnson mixed with Brene Brown, and then I'm gonna say my ideal audience member. And I don't usually say audience. I usually say community, but I think audience is going to be a clearer thing here. Member slash reader is a marketing agency owner who loves having fun while making an impact. Don't be too over the top. Okay. Because I know AI can get over the top. Empowering and inspirational, authentic and vulnerable, innovative and creative, professional yet approachable, tone, conversational and engaging, empathetic and supportive. And it's going to be a little positive but realistic.
I
I mean,
like
that's pretty good, right?
Yeah. Those of you that are watching, maybe you feel like, you know what, I spent the whole day figuring out ChatGPT inputs. Well, here's the thing. We're going to take all this and automate this whole entire process around pop-up masterclasses and pop-up groups and pop-up communities and show you exactly how to monetize off of it. But first, you have to have the foundational context to how this is all built out. That's why it's important to go through this part.
And if you have tried like a launch system and it hasn't worked for you, this is probably why. Because if you aren't clear about this stuff, you cannot expect it to work. And I think it's a little, I dare to say, like a little brave of us, Paulson, to take so much time in a workshop about automation, to take so much time to really dial this in. But I promise you tomorrow, when we go start getting into the automated pieces of this, you are going to be so grateful that you have this.
Absolutely. And I get this with almost every workshop, by the way. Day one is like foundational day, and a
Awesome.
lot of, building blocks are being built. And usually the audience, the crowd's like, well, I wanted to see the automations and workflows and zaps today. And then they're lost on day 2 or 3 because the clear cut foundation wasn't built. So stay patient, everybody. We appreciate your patience. I
I
want to make
promise it's
sure
going to be so good. Okay,
it
we got
is.
two more things on here. So we're going to move down into, that was a really, really good question though. So hopefully that's helpful for those of you. I love it. Love, love, love the chat that's happening right now. Okay. So now we've done this brand voice analysis. Now we're going to move into the complete brand and marketing strategy. So now we're going to take all of this information into consideration. Please create a full brand marketing outlining the following. Watch this.
And this is for you as a provider of the business, right?
Yes. So we're going to go back into that full website analysis. Like, I did that brand voice thing separately just so I could show you how that would work, but I don't want to mess up my main chat. So I've got
Absolutely.
all of this in here. My tone, I'm making sure this seems like conversational, uplifting with a touch of humor. It's clear that you aim to inspire and motivate, often using personal anecdotes to establish genuine connection. I mean, that's all spot on. So now I'm going to come in here and I'm going to paste this next thing. Watch what's going to happen. And if you didn't get, like, Kristen, I'm so glad you're here. If you didn't get the link for the document, we'll share it again in the chat and everything will be emailed to you as well. So core message, empowerment through personal and professional growth. This message emphasizes the transformational impact of your services, blending personal experiences with professional expertise. Mission statement, to inspire and guide individuals and businesses toward their fullest potential using relatable experiences, innovative strategies, and compassionate and empathetic approach. Brand pillars, empathy and relatability, connecting with audiences through shared experiences and understanding, innovation and learning, embracing new technologies like AI and automation to enhance growth, personal and professional balance, All of these things are pretty good, right? Now, if I've already done this with my team, we spent like 7 hours a couple of months ago redoing this as human beings. This I then can take to my team and I can say, hey, how does this resonate with you? Right? It's got targeted messages for client avatars. Awesome. Our products are more than tools, they're a catalyst for growth. Okay. Storytelling elements, like this is all pretty good, right, Paulson? What'd you say?
Absolutely. And can I just drop a nugget real quick?
Yeah.
Like my version of a little AI nugget. So I've talked to very seasoned business owners that leverage AI for multiple things. And sometimes they redo their profiles, avatars, and relaunch a new offer. One of the cool things you can do is grab all reviews you have from every
Mm.
customer that you ever received and create a brand messaging around what other people in the market say about you. Like you can like literally grab all of it and throw it into a doc and load it up and say create a perceptive voice or branding position of my brand. And I thought that was the most genius thing ever.
Okay, so I actually hired someone to do this before Jasper, like when Jasper first came out. And now knowing that we can do it on our own like this is so cool. And this is actually, I love that. This is actually something that we're going to be doing when we come up with one of the strategies that we use inside the pop-up group is to get people to get to ask questions and give feedback. And we're going to take those answers from them and put it back into the AI. I love that. And that's actually a really cool thing to add. So if what you are getting here, like I see someone saying that they're getting theirs is a little bit too long and it sounds like AI, that's probably because of what's been put in ahead of time. So at this point, if your response didn't feel like it actually connected with you, guess what? This is where you get to tweak and train the way that this goes before we get to tomorrow. So you get to come in and say, hey, this sounds a little like AI. I want this to sound more like a human being and give it an example. So you need to be clear, just like you would with a human being that you're training. We had a team member once who was very robotic in the way that she spoke. I thought we would be able to continue working with her. She ended up not being a good fit because we needed humans that were a little kookier. Sometimes our AI chats get a little too robotic, and it's our responsibility to blend the humanness in there. So
Yeah.
let me give you two more things that we're going to do because I want to make sure. I know we're coming to the end of the 3 hours, so I want to make sure um, we're getting to the full thing here. But again, this is why we had a program called Dancing with Jarvis, because if it's not perfect right now, you get to adjust it. You get to be like use your editing hat and make little adjustments.
Yeah, I always think of AI as like this introverted person that I've got to bring the best out of.
Totally. Okay, now
You
what we're
could
gonna
go ahead, go ahead. Sorry, sorry.
and sometimes actually I'll get a chat that I'm like, I don't know who's behind this chat, but it is not good. And I'll just start a fresh new chat because it gets like some little one time I had asked AI to write me a series of emails in the voice of a pirate, and I could not get that season chat to stop writing in the voice of a pirate. Um, it was a real problem. It kept calling me a landlubber, which I did not want. Okay. Now, again, if you have a seasoned chat like this, eventually it will start to do what they call hallucinating. So we're not going to continue to use this chat forever. We're using this chat to really streamline the process. So what we're going to do is we're then going to take our company details, our expert bio, our product details, our ideal client narratives that it wrote for us, our brand voice that it wrote for us, and I'm giving you a kickstart on these terms to avoid. The terms to avoid are supercharge, treasure trove, and the kicker is I hope this email finds you well, harness the power of, delve into, and cherry on top. So, if it's starting to use these terms for me, that's when it really starts to sound like AI and it gets all wonky. So, let me show you this, what this looks like. So, this is the version that I have been using. And this one doesn't have the brand voice piece in. I have that separately, but this is what I've been using for, since we started doing all of this. So for years now, it seems like over a year at least. So this has all of my company details. It has my bio, and you can add your quesadilla of awesome in there also, right? It has my programs and the details about my programs. It has all my programs. It has my ideal client avatar summaries, and it has more detailed information. So I've actually added in a little more detailed information in here about my ideal clients. And then these are templates, but then at the end, you would also add in, and I'm just going to add it in here so that it's all here. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to say, now this, my brand pillars, I may want to adjust these, right? So you want to adjust them, make sure that you edit in Zhuge, but you're going to come in and you're going to grab this. I'm just going to show you how we do it. I'm going to come down here. Oops. Ah, sorry. This is like playing Operation with my keyboard because I'm not used to using my left hand. Okay. I know some of you appreciate that I'm going slower. So here, oops. Okay, so I'm going to paste this and I'm going to say like brand voice right underneath here. Right, so I'm going to just write brand voice. And now I have all of this in one document that I can do two things with. So this is your big step for tomorrow, okay? Because tomorrow we're going to be writing all of your content and getting your pop-up group set up so we can move into the automations. We're going to be diving into how to schedule the content and all of that. What you're going to do is one of two things. If you are using the free version of ChatGPT, all you're going to do is you're going to copy this entire document. A lot. You're going to go in here. You're going to start a new chat and watch. I'm going to do this with GPT 3.5 just to prove to you that it can work. I'm going to paste all of this and I'm going to say at the very top, whatever I'm going to do, I'm going to start with this. So I'm going to say like, I'm going to just copy that other prompt so that you guys can see. Like here. So if I was going to start working on email copy, for example, so today I wrote a bunch of emails for a client before we started this. And this is how I would start it for her. I'm going to come to the top of this chat and I'm going to say, act like a high level experience marketer, whatever, right? And then I'm going to say, we are giving it context, are going to write emails together. Use the following details as foundations for my brand. This is what you do with the free version, right? Hopefully it's not too long. If it's too long, I'll show you what to do. Okay, not too long in the free version. It's already started adding emails. Okay,
Oh, wow.
at the end of it, and the free version goes so fast. At the end of it, I should have said, please confirm that you're ready to begin because it's already written all these emails for me.
Wow. And that is based on the positioning and all the details you provided.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay, cool.
Now, if you have the paid version, watch this. I've created my own custom GPT that our team can use. So this already knows everything about me and my business. It's got everything built into it. So I can use this to write a ladder post, which is something we'll talk about tomorrow. I've seasoned this whole entire thing so it already knows who I am. When I click that, it's going to ask me questions so that we can get started on writing content like this.
Yeah, I'm just thinking right now with even internally with our high level marketing team, we got
Totally.
stuff to build
Now,
this into.
one other thing I want to be really clear about is that if you start to do this and you notice the emails are not in your voice, what you're going to do is you're going to write back and you're going to say, hey, I really, these emails are way too over the top. These emails are using, like I said, it gets hyperbolic, like they're too excited. What would I have to tell you in order for you to write in a more mellow tone?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
it will tell you what to add into the prompt for the next time that you do it.
Yeah. I had a good friend of mine who does like millions of dollars worth of ads every single month. He was like, "Hey, these chat GPT systems are good at really like writing good ad creatives, but once in a while, just like Facebook ad fatigue, just like any other fatigue in ads. It'll start hallucinating or going out of context or just like developing multiple voices essentially. So you have to kind of break it back down essentially.
And I mean, it's the same thing as human beings. We all get fatigue. Oh my gosh. I read something yesterday that I haven't actually tried. I saw this. Okay, I have to show you this. Can I know we're like coming
Sure.
up on the 3 hours. Can I show you? It's so good. It's like the most amazing. It's so funny and really a really, really good prompt. And it's such a good example of marketing. Okay. My friend Ken posted this ad yesterday on LinkedIn, and hold on, I'm going to show you. Okay. So this is a really cool thing that you can add into ChatGPT. I'm going to screen share in just a sec. Watch. I found it. Oh, shoot. Ah, hold. Sorry. Now I sound like a monkey. Okay. 1 second. Okay. This is going to be worth the entire workshop. Watch this. I don't know how to make it so it's a little bit bigger, so just watch it here, because when I make it full screen, it takes over my giant
You
desktop.
may have to share with audio and
I
sound.
did.
Okay, cool.
I did.
Awesome.
Okay, ready? Watch.
I know Ken. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, can you see what it's saying? Because I just want to read it out loud. Can you guys see what it said?
Yeah.
So the world has been using AI nonstop, but if you ask it to give you a breather, watch what happens. Have a break and then ask a question. 78% better results. And it's a Kit Kat commercial. Isn't that so cool? We don't have to watch the whole thing.
That is pretty cool. I know Ken. I know who he is,
He's
and I've met
awesome.
him before. Yeah, he's awesome. That is pretty creative. So what you're saying is treat it like a human, give it breaks, prompt it to take
Like
a
say,
short winded
you don't even
approach.
need to like wait, just say take a break and then do this. And it's like it refreshes itself.
Wow. And I've done that with like when I wanted it to be a bit more like simpler, I would say, hey, think about a casual language you would talk to somebody at a bar, and it would redo it in like a very casual, simpler way, and
Totally.
it'll like do short form like that.
And so that's where with this document now, what you'll be able to do is you'll be able to go in and customize it as you go forward into what we're going to do tomorrow. You can know that it's like a living, breathing document, and you can get clearer about like, right, sometimes I'll say, write this for a 6th grader, and then it'll be like on the playground when you whatever. And I'm like, not for an actual 6th grader, but like in a language a 6th grader would understand. Right. So we're going to get clearer and clearer on this. And I just want to make sure everybody knows that tomorrow we're going to start using more things inside high level. So really you want to make sure that you get that trial so that we can get in there and play with all of this tomorrow, because I'm going to show you how to create a whole month of content and then how to load it into high level. And I know that we've covered so much today. We may have some time for some questions, but I just want to make sure everybody remembers that there's one thing you're going to implement. So tell us in the chat, what's the one thing that you're going to implement from today? Because I know we covered a lot.
There is a lot. So I think there's going to be a lot of questions. So here's what I recommend. We only have like 4 minutes left for the session. So go ahead and put your questions down in the comments. Myself and Molly and our whole team will go through, and just remember, just type in Q as a question that you're posting that for us to answer. So that way it's easier for us to get through all the comments. Go ahead and post your questions. Molly, what can we expect tomorrow? Can you just review our agenda for tomorrow? I know you shared some of the details just now. But are we gonna, we kind of set the foundation. What's happening tomorrow?
Yeah, so let me show you what's going to happen tomorrow, and then we're also going to show you what's going to happen the day after, so you can get even more excited. Yeah. So we just finished AI-ifying your brand voice. Remember, you want to grab those trials there. I know we'll put those chats, the links in the chat as well. And oh, I moved it. I don't know what I just did. Somehow my screen just, what the heck? Hold on. I lost my slides. Where did they go? Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going to go through the whole entire thing of what we're doing next. It's all on here, so I don't know what happened. Okay. This is so weird. Everything just went blank. Okay, today, sorry, that was what we call an authenticity indicator so that you know that I'm real and not a robot. Okay, so this is everything that we covered today. We unlocked your unique differentiator. We're writing copy in your voice so that it can connect with your community and position your offers. Tomorrow, we're going to be diving more into how to unlock the organic reach on these platforms, more into the social triangle without selling your soul to Mark Zuckerberg. I'm going to give you the key AI content framework that allows you to create conversion-based content with ease. And we're going to build together your evergreen engine that you can set and forget. So basically, we're going to create an entire month of content that you can schedule to be posted, and then it can be put into a queue where it reposts. It is amazing. And I'm going to give you one prompt that literally will write your entire content for the year. I wrote 36 weeks of content while on a flight recently using this prompt. You are going to freak out when you see it. We're also going to be diving into high level and showing you how to schedule this content. And then on day 3, we'll be diving into your sales. So we'll be setting up your pop-up group for success, creating your pre-masterclass momentum by showing you how to schedule the emails and the text messages and all of the follow-up automations as well so that you can bring in sales with less effort.
Love it. Can you share the link for the trial and also just reiterate one more time, those that are watching without a high-level account, what do they get out of signing up for a trial?
Yes, yes, yes. So when you get the trial, this is all on here right here. So when you sign up for the trial, or those of you that have high level already as well, you also could upgrade too, right? So if you upgrade, you'll be able to get all the access to the stuff that Paulson was sharing earlier about having an agency account where you can build this out for clients as well. What you're going to get with this, though, is you'll be getting our full system snapshot. So you'll be getting landing pages that you literally just Mad Lib style edit. You'll be getting calendar automations, the calendar booking links that connect to your calendar that you use, just like Calendly, but it's all built out for you. You'll get all of the automations. So you'll get all of the, everything to get people registered, to follow up to make sure they come to the masterclass, to follow up with them afterwards to make sure that they buy all of that, and to invite them in the first place. You'll get the pipelines that we shared. So 2 of our top pipelines, one is for groups. Once people join your group, they'll be in this masterclass pipeline. And then one is for your sales pipeline. Both are super valuable. You can use them. You could take this masterclass pipeline and use it for events. You could use it for all kinds of things. And the sales pipeline is our general sales pipeline that we use for everything. And we're going to be giving you, not only are we going to write content together tomorrow, we're going to give you the main posts that we post inside our group. They're already inside the high level account, so you can just schedule them to go out inside the group. Bananas. Seriously awesome.
At the end of the day, we want to automate as much as we can. So then you build pipelines of just inbound leads, inbound sales, inbound people on your calendars all day long with the power of a community type system or a Facebook group type of system. And, I'm excited for tomorrow. There's so much more to cover. And jump into this 30-day trial. We usually don't do a 30-day trial. We're doing that for this workshop. Normally we do a 14-day trial and you don't really get a lot of snapshots and a bunch of cool stuff with it. Here, you're going to get that from Molly and her team. If you need any kind of help, whatever you need, just let us know. We have Zoom pods that you can jump into and speak with a live agent as well if that's something that you need help. Remember, it's already 2 o'clock Central tomorrow. We'll start again, same time, which is 12 o'clock EST. New York time for those of you that are watching international. Molly, thanks for day 1. This has been so insightful and exciting. I'm excited for day 2. So what's some homework that you want everybody to do before, like what's the homework, coach?
Yeah, so come in tomorrow with with that brand guide done. If you don't do the brand guide, you can just use your website and we'll still be able to jump in. But I promise if you have the brand guide done, it's going to be even better tomorrow because I really want you to walk away with at least a month of content tomorrow. And also, if you have had an awesome time, make sure you tag me on Instagram. I'm the prepared performer. So Tag me, share in stories. I'll share what you share, give you shout outs also. And then if you're tagging me on Facebook, just use my personal profile, Molly Mahoney. I would so love to connect with you there. Get this brand stuff in place, identify your quesadilla of awesome so that tomorrow we get to have even more fun, unlock even more opportunity.
And don't forget to not tag high level either, as these workshop is really insightful, and we love to provide these more often. So yeah, make sure you tag high level as well on Instagram and Facebook, and actually all the
All the
channels.
places.
So, okay, Molly, I'll see you tomorrow. I'm looking forward to everybody's questions. We don't have time to do a live video style Q&A today because there's so much to go through. But go ahead and put your comments in all the streaming. Make sure you type in Q, and if you have any golden nuggets, remember Molly's doing a giveaway for all of you nugget people, as long as you have some nuggets in there. So share that and take initiative, take action. You'll be
And and also one last thing, tomorrow, just so you know, like today, we, like Paulson said, we really had to set the scene for what we're even doing. Tomorrow, we're going to start the ground running. So we're starting with creating content right away tomorrow. So we'll have way more time for questions and really like you're going to be doing stuff. So come in ready to go tomorrow because we're going to be like implementing.
I love it. All right. See everybody tomorrow.
Awesome.
We'll have replays live in your email as well as the YouTube channel pretty shortly. And all the links will be provided as well. Take care. Bye, everybody.